a day. I mean, it's like I don't even get anything
What is
good.
it? What does it say you get?
Charmed life. I don't even know how to use it.
Well, that one's a good.
Is it?
That's a good skill because
And I don't know how to use it.
So basically, before, like, if you're having to make a check of some sort, like a reflex save or a will save or something like that. Swashbuckler.
Okay, your mics are hot, so if you want to turn them on whenever you're ready.
I'm sick.
We're on our pre-roll, so you can be seen or heard but not seen. Hey, Maya Morph, good to see you, Captain. Looks like you may be first in the chat. We're doing our pre-setup here, getting ready.
All right, Captain's on.
Good,
I need help. Give me some ideas.
But yes, I have used it as melee before. And
Okay.
I find it's a good one to have.
All right, good.
If I want to get people to my side, what was my skill? Would I do diplomacy?
Yeah, that's a diplomacy. When you're trying to persuade people to, like...
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if you're trying to get them to your side through non-diplomatic means, that would be intimidate. And then,
No.
But if you're trying to just convince them, like normally, it would be diplomacy.
Okay.
Okay, now I need to roll 4d8 for Shadow Mist for all of his levels. 3, 4, 8. And he's got a Constitution modifier. I'm going to take off the temporary modifier.
I think I saw you way out my direction yesterday, around 11:30ish, running
Plus 6. Can't roll.
out by Blackman Road, four-way stop up there.
That's a fun.
No, I wasn't running, but I was driving there on Friday.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I
There
bought
was a
something.
lady who was about your height, and she had a hat on, so it
We're
was
not-
low.
So that's so.
Combat
I
right
did
now,
run yesterday, but I ran on right over by CVS, over like right on Fortress.
That's funny.
But I picked up something on Friday over on, like, there's this four-way stop with a gas station, and I bought something off Facebook Marketplace there.
That's funny because I was like, man, that's a good long run. I mean, I figure you run
I run a little.
some not that far.
Not that
'Cause
far.
That's got to be. I mean, that's probably like 5 miles.
Yeah, it's 5 miles. I mean, a few years ago, I probably would have run 5 miles. I don't do that anymore. I destroyed my hips.
You do more than I've ever done.
I do a mile and a half to 2 miles.
Okay, yeah. Because I was like, man, if that's her, that's a
Yeah.
long run.
No, yeah. I did run a marathon, and the most I ran before I ran the marathon was, I think, 15 miles. I just can't. I'm just not a runner. It's just too boring to me. And then I ran the marathon, and my hips were like completely leaving. I had to go to like 6 months of therapy. So, no more for me.
My dad ran cross country in high school, and he said, I don't know what they're talking about runner's high because it doesn't exist.
I never got a runner's high. I never got a runner's high.
Sometimes.
Do you?
But not often.
I had a friend back in California, and he just said he could run for 10 miles and feel so awesome and free, and he got that runner's high. And I'm like, no, I just have. Now, I will say when I've run like 5Ks, that's only 3 miles, I feel pretty good. I get a high, but it's over and done with in like 23 minutes. So I'm like, that's about all I do.
Okay. Why won't you let me edit you?
home and is finally learning how to open his eyes.
Alright, I need to read up on this charmed life.
That, I guess.
Immediate action. Saving throw.
Add it for some reason.
Okay, now I remember. It's when I'm trying to. So let's say that will save would be like when Zanisha. Could it be used on like when she would cast a spell on us? If somebody casts a spell on me and I go to will save?
Some spells are will saves, some are not. Because some are like con saves, some are reflex saves. It just depends on what type of spell it is.
But what would this charm light be on a saving throw?
Okay, so it would be any save. Like, so will save.
Okay, so any
reflex
save.
Con save, any of your.
Oh, well, I need to be rolling that a lot.
Yeah, and you just have to do it before you roll your d20. So you have to declare that you're going to use Charmed Life, and then you roll your d20 and then roll all of your sixes until basically you stop getting a 6 on the die. So like if you roll a d6 and it comes up a 6, then you get to roll that again.
Okay.
And then if it comes up a 6 again, you get to roll it again, and so that's 12 plus.
And you add that to your 20?
So each time you get a 6, that 6 gets added to that 20.
Oh.
So it's good if you keep rolling 6s because it makes that number go up.
Right.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to remember that.
Yeah, it's a really nice
Okay.
little
I guess I just don't think I knew how to use it, and so then...
I can fly now, guys.
Yeah,
I got my wings.
Oh!
Whoops. I leveled. Just need to roll hit points. And I can lay on hands now as well. Paladin level. So that gives me at least a little bit of extra healing while we need it.
Yet
Okay.
another teamwork feat.
Yes. Awesome. That's good news. Done. Oh, and then I need to put blade. Temporary +4 to constitution.
Oh my gosh! It was fake. Oh my gosh! It was fake. Sorry if any of our fans just.
Goodness.
I had it off, so I didn't scream
Yeah, well,
in their ears.
You lost your eardrums just then. I put a spider on Cade's shoulder, and Cade, if you did not know this, is absolutely arachnophobic. So, demonstration in point. If everybody can mic up,
Yes.
we're a couple minutes late. I see only hot mics right now are mine and Ear does.
Yes.
Cade's was hot, I
on.
think, till the batteries got out.
Oops.
Hey, Varsavir Pat, good to see you. Rory and Pat, Lord Fourth. Outstanding. We're going to be getting started here in just a minute. Had a
me
couple
get
little technical
switched
things to
up.
get taken care of first. And let's run our sponsor rolls.
Good.
Yeah, good vocal technique.
Gotta get warmed up.
You should have been in the room, man. It was, it was loud. All right, here we go. First of all, thank you to Dragon Crafting Guild. And we're going to talk about that sponsor. He's got a neat announcement I'm going to make today. And let's watch. Except not really. And then also, he's got his new Etsy store, which you can see has already been popped up in our chat. Check out John's Etsy store. Now, let me tell you why you really, really want to do this today. And I'll mention this again before the break. John has he's really ramping up operations. He's putting a lot of effort into the growth of Dragon Crafting Guild. And as such, he's producing a lot of trays right now that he is offering at a price he's never offered before. The mini trays used to be $39.99. On his Etsy shop now for a limited time, I'm not sure exactly how long, they're $19.99. So if you click that link on the Etsy shop, and we'll show you these trays again in a second if you haven't seen them, but you can pick up a DCG tray for $19. We're not live on video yet. But that was excellent. Yes, I know. Okay, stop. So we'll talk more about that in a second. And then our newest sponsor, thank you to...
Cozy Gamer. Who made that? C-Y.
Now, Cozy Gamer, our newest sponsor, they already sent us several bags of fantastic dice. We have a set of those we're going to be giving away today on stream, so we'll show that to you in a little bit. And we're excited to have them upcoming for our virtual Greyhawk Con. And then I'm going to switch over to our live view here. And say hello, everybody. You're live.
Hi.
Solomon, I'll have you focus that camera just a bit if you could. I'm a touch fuzzy, and just... No, the little ring on the front, like right at the front of the lens. Yeah, that one. And no, you're moving the whole camera.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Solomon, I'll tell you what. Why don't you sit here?
I can
And you sit here? Or you want to do that one? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, guys. Should have had this done already. I thought I did. So move the...
Scooch over
Yeah, that's zooming. I didn't really want to zoom, but that's okay there. All right, now focus. Perfect. And then, nope, you had it. And then you took it off. Go back to where you were. There we go. Touch back the other way. Yes, right there. All right, now move the whole camera that way. Like twist it. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so a couple of our other sponsors to talk about. We have, of course, Frederica Draws, who still owes us the artwork for Eamon. That is in my court, not hers, so we'll make sure we get that done. But she does all of our illustrations here on Blue Box, including really cool new illustrations in our upcoming Earth Journal 34, which should be out by the end of this month. You are not going to want to miss that. It's pretty cool. There is an article in there from me on a neat topic for the Greyhawk gaming world, which actually crosses over into something from Dark Sun. If you've ever played Dark Sun, and you would say, well, what on earth similarity would there be between Greyhawk and Dark Sun? I'm glad you asked. You're going to want to check that out in Orc Journal 34. And then thank you to Atris Minis, our amazing mini painter. He was going to be with us this Wednesday on our Lore Masters Arcanum. We're actually having to reschedule that. There will be no LMA on Wednesday night this week. I have a family obligation to attend to, but we will have Greyhawk Awakening on Tuesday, so do not miss that. The party is right in the midst of assaulting the Orcish fort in the Kron Hills, and they are facing a monstrous dragon, which is crafted and painted by one and the same Atris Minis. It is a nasty looking dragon, and they are in the middle of a pitched fight, and so that's going to be Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. Don't miss that. And then I think my last announcement is our upcoming virtual Greyhawk Con. And so if you haven't already registered for this, you need to register. It is, hang on here, boom, that one. October 2nd through 4th, so it's like 2 weeks. I mean, it's hard for me to believe it's already here. It's in 2 weeks. And so there are 2 separate sessions. You can click and follow the link that's in the chat. And don't just sign up for the con. Please go on to the 2 Blue Box events, and I'll talk about this a little bit later in the show as well. The one on Friday, which is our open campaign, that's going to be running a module from Carlos Lysing of Castle Entertainment. We've got an all-star cast. It includes Christoph from Greyhawk Online, Will from Wicked Studios, Josh or Zarathanon from it's escaping my mind right now. We've got Robert. We've got real strong players. That's going to be a fun campaign on that Friday on the 2nd. Then Sunday, our Greyhawk Awakening team will be playing on a special day Sunday, October 4th, and that's going to be a 4-hour session from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And so click the link, go on, sign up. The tickets are free, and get registered and save those spots for the Blue Box sessions. And there's some other cool stuff you can check out while you're there. Okay, yes?
So we're not meeting on that Sunday?
No. Nope. All right, so I mentioned Cozy Gamer. These dice, These gorgeous red dice are going to be the giveaway today. They're fiery. They have sort of alternating hues of amber and crimson with sparkle, and they're slick looking. And we're going to give these dice away today, so you're going to want to be part of that. And then I think that covers, I mentioned the Etsy shop. I think that's it. All right, so I'm going to run up and grab my iPod while I do that. Let's have you...
Mantic? Did we mention Mantic?
What's that?
Did we mention
No,
Mantic?
we didn't mention Mantic. Thank you. I forgot Mantic. So Mantic Games, we don't have any of their stuff just yet. It's coming here at the end of September. But their whole terrain crate line, they're one of our new sponsors. We've got some really neat stuff coming from Mantic Games, which will not only be on the table, but it will be in your hands because we'll be using those things for giveaways also, and so you'll be seeing that here come the beginning of October. So there's a lot going on with Blue Box in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be very, very busy. Lots of sessions, lots of gaming, lots of fun, lots of giveaways. And thank you as always to all of our Mad Chowders. That's our fantastic audience crew and all that you guys bring to the channel. So with that, let's go ahead and go to what happened last time while I grab my iPad.
Alright, so last time when we started off, we were in Turtleback Ferry and the dam had just broken north of the town, and the waters were starting to rise. A man had burst into the inn to let us know that the waters were coming and that the school children were actually the most in danger at the moment because they were in the path of the oncoming flood. So as we came outside, Irda and Eamon ran towards the children on the chunk of ferry that they and their teacher were actually floating atop, while Solomon and Cade tried to figure out the best way to proceed. Solomon ended up riding...
I knew the best way to proceed.
Solomon ended up riding on Kib, and Cade grabbed his horse. Irda actually whistled for Shadow Mist, and they all moved toward the raft. Irda actually managed to rescue one of the children off of the top of the raft by getting the girl to hold on around her neck. And Eamon was trying to steady the raft and accidentally tore it in half. So all of the remaining children and their teacher fell into the water.
I took you out the rope. That should have gotten me MVP, but whatever.
During that time, Irda felt something bump against her legs, and so did Eamon. And then whatever this thing had been suddenly appeared by latching itself onto Shadow Mist's one of his forelegs, and revealed itself to be a gigantic snake that was swimming around in the water beneath us. So we realized very quickly that we were in a bit of a pickle. And Shadow Mist actually managed to get a few solid blows against the snake initially after it had struck him, as everyone was working together to try to rescue all of the children. Eamon managed to grab there was a little boy who was close to him. He managed to pull him out of the water and held him on his back like Irda was holding the little girl on her back. The others started kind of floating downstream. Cade managed with very, very skillful ways to throw a rope out to try to give something for the others to try to grab a hold of. And then as soon as that had kind of happened, the snake coiled itself around Solomon and pulled him underwater. And then it proceeded to be the party trying to rescue Solomon from the coils of this serpent. Solomon
Lost one of my swords.
And he lost a sword and his shield underneath the water. Solomon actually managed to stick it pretty solidly, like jab it with his spear, his glowing spear. But the serpent did not release him at this point. It actually took Eamon and his mighty feat of strength to pull Solomon free and put him right back up on his feet. Irda cast water breathing on her two allies, herself, and the two children that were holding on to herself and Eamon to give us the ability to hopefully not drown during this fight. The snake continued on down and managed to actually grab the little girl the blonde-haired little girl that was at the furthest at the end of the rope, and it had a bit of a small child snack.
Snack that smiles back.
And it ended up swimming away, unfortunately, to the dismay of the rest of the party who had been trying to save this child. So at that point, the party pulled the last child and the teacher back in on the rope together, so that they could work together to try to rescue everybody else in the town that they could. So Irda cast her daylight spell on Shadow Mist to create a beacon to help, be a point to draw the other townspeople to try to get them all out of town. Various children were helped up on top of Shadow Mist, Cade's horse on top of Kib, and just as ways to try to help them along with their parents. And the group worked their way out of town. There was discussion about getting to higher ground. That was Cade's idea, and
it was
he suggested
the rope and higher ground.
He suggested actually possibly returning to Fort Rannick, since that would be the
That's ours.
Best place to go.
We'll build ourselves a town.
Amen.
So everyone gathered up and proceeded back towards Fort Rannick. It was hard going, and the water had gotten up to 4 feet deep by the time that we were finishing our way out of town. Many more people were swept away in the floods, and the total survivors was about between 75 and 85 people, including the children that were on horseback. So those were the numbers that managed to we got them out of the town and on the way to Fort Rannick. As we went along, Cade found a cave, or refound the cave, and was quite...
There is no we here.
Refound, not we found, refound. So Cade refound the cave that he had spotted before and wanted to go into. There was a bit of a misunderstanding about the general size of the cave, but eventually Ray flew in and then told Cade that there was something there, in the way that Ray does. And then Cade went in and discovered that Poquito Huervos had died a tragic death. And he was clutching a jug and had a sword on him.
The good stuff.
There was a bit of debate back and forth between Cade and Solomon about if Solomon should really go into the cave. Solomon didn't really trust Cade all that much. And there was a bit of back and forth, and then eventually Solomon did go into the cave, took Poquito Huervos' sword, and there was been a little more bickering between them.
Don't think it's funny.
Irda and Eamon actually continue on to Fort Rannick to clear the carnage away so that they could bring the villagers into the fort. Irda realized very quickly that it was probably a bad idea leaving Cade and Solomon unsupervised.
It was a perfect time.
But they cleared away the first bodies outside the fort, and then Irda went back and cast her message spell to ask for any of the other strongmen that could possibly help them with with clearing away the rest of the bodies inside the fort. So while the shenanigans were going on amongst the people, and the teacher was just drinking Cade's rum, and it was
the only way to take care of kids.
Irda, Eamon, and the 14 stronger men actually worked in the fort to kind of clear it away, and at the end the rest of the townsfolk were about ready to start heading into the fort, and that's where we left off last time.
Outstanding. Thank you for that. And so the sub mentioned that there might have been a little bit of a high-pitched whine. Is anyone else hearing that? I assume that you're not just referring to Cade's voice. It was I'm going to go ahead and really quickly deactivate and reactivate your cam too for Solomon and Irda.
Okay.
I'm seeing some flickering on that. So while I'm doing that, everything sounds good. Thank you. Good to see you, Vivi. Appreciate you joining us. Tim, good to have Tim with us. And I think as everyone already knows, We are using the nefarious crit tables of the ever mysterious Tim.
I don't trust that never mysterious Tim.
That's why he's ever mysterious.
He only gives advantages to the DM.
Cade's mic sounds distant. Are you
Oh,
on?
If you
I'm
just-
on.
If you just like twist it where it is, because it's kind of under your like hood.
Oh, that's why.
Yep, good. Thank you for that. All right, I think we've got all the AV stuff synced up, and that is fantastic. Tim said you're welcome. All right, so we did have XP that went out last
Yes.
time. So before we get into tonight's session,
I leveled up.
so you leveled up. You leveled up. Okay, wow. All right, so that's what happens when you don't get XP for 5 sessions. And then you have not leveled up yet, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, poor fella.
I did have a question on that.
Yes.
That total, was that including
No,
the...
you have to
okay, so I
track
have
those
to-
yourself. Yeah, so anytime you get Stream MVP, you're
you
responsible
can
for
track
tracking
Arr, you
that.
know what?
So
I didn't
can we-
have any extra.
We can do
2,000
that
extra points
immediately.
for you.
Yeah, I do remember that.
You know
so
what?
Can we do
Because
that
I didn't-
immediately?
Yes,
Okay.
you can go ahead and put those
Scream
points in.
Gotcha.
MVP.
Sorry.
Just gotta roll my hit points.
Yeah, me too. I need to roll here.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll hit points, and then we're going to have you share with me, the DM, and with the audience what feats or skills or any new abilities that you may have secured.
I need a new die for me to roll the hit.
Okay, so I do have something in honor. It looks like the flickering may be stopped. At least on my end, it looks like it's not happening nearly as much as it was. So hopefully that's the case. We have this beautiful set of dice. These dice, hey, Crimson Ale, which have been coveted. These are Dice Envy dice. They have been coveted
And I have envied them.
by Cade, and there's been great envy. And so I was going to use these for a giveaway, but Cade has a lot of influence over this game. You say because he's played by my wife? No, simply because the player behind Cade actually produces all your Blue Box t-shirts, all of your Blue Box sweatshirts, orders your Blue Box mugs, helps me, that's my shipping
I made them all.
department, gets all my stuff out, and so I think, there I saw a flicker, I think these beautiful jade dice are a small recompense for all the work that
Thank
you do, so
sir.
congratulations.
Very kind. I will roll me hit points. Better work well.
All right, so
Check out some jade.
so tell everybody your level now, and then tell us about Cade. So let's do our player introduction, your new level,
Ooh, these
and
are
then
high.
and then anything
They're
else
weighty.
that you got as far as your level up. Did you get
Go for
another feet per day, whatever? So go.
Well, let me tell you, I did level up to a level 10, which I thought would give me some cool feats. It did not. I was very disappointed as a pirate. I just got a charmed life. I know it's kind of cool, but
It is cool.
I already had it. I wanted something new. So, yeah, that was disappointing. But I do have a new jug of rum from my friend Poquito Eros, and I will drink my sorrows away in that and roll.
Okay. And the first roll of your new die, you're rolling the d20.
20!
Okay, well that means it's a 10 because you're rolling as a d10. It's
What? I rolled a 20 on my first
all
one!
right. That's an
This
auspicious.
is a good sign, folks!
So that's 10 plus your Constitution bonus, which is what's your con again? I forgot.
2.
2. Well, your con's at 15 then.
14.
14, yeah. So plus 2. So you get 12 extra hit points to add.
Ooh, huzzah!
And then, of course, your skills. But we don't need to go over those. All right. Eamon, go ahead and introduce your character to the audience.
I am Eamon, a magus, a half orc. He is currently cleaning up the fort, but the loss of the little girl does weigh heavily on him at this moment. He hasn't really displayed that yet, but I think time will
Okay.
he'll show that.
All right. Good. Thank you. Solomon.
I am Baron Solomon Frost. I am finally a level 9 human cavalier. And I got, let's see, I got Greater Tactician, which gives me another teamwork feat. And then I got, what did I get? Coordinated Maneuvers.
So tell us what that does.
It only works if one of y'all has it. So if one of you has it, I get a +2 on combat maneuver checks.
We have to have it?
If you are an adjacent to an ally who also has it.
Okay, hold on. I think I got that one.
Rory, no, sorry, I talked about that earlier. Yeah, what is a cavalier without Winston? Yeah, this is a
has
pale.
a bear named Kib.
He doesn't have
Yes.
he doesn't have a Winston, but he does have a Kib, which is this beautiful bear that he actually absconded with. It belonged to a ranger
Rural, 'cause he
that
can't
he pretended to befriend and then allowed to die. No, that's not true. He didn't allow him to die. I'm just making that up.
That's nice.
And hey, Steve, yes, exactly.
So he rolled a 10.
He rolled a 10 as well. Okay. Well, you guys are off to a good start. So add your con bonus to that. Add that. And then
89.
I think the one, could Lilith befriend the bear? Now, there is, of all the level ups, there is one character here that has been anticipating this level up since the day she made the character, this level 10 target. So if you've been watching any of our shows, we began the very first sessions, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, whatever it was, where the player for Irda, Evelyn, would describe initially these phantom-looking wings that would extend from her back, diaphanous, almost barely visible, but they would accompany her shouts of rage and the encouragement that she would give to the party. And each time she grew in power, she would give a little bit more, and the description would get more detailed, and the wings themselves became more substantial until most recently they have been described as nearly manifest. And so with that as the backdrop, Evelyn, tell us about Irda's 10th level.
I'm so excited. Hello, I'm Irda Lienril. I am a level 8 Azimar Skald and a level 2 Paladin. So that makes me level 10, which means I get my angel wings. I'm so excited. So yeah, now that I'm a level 10 character, I have my angel wings, as well as I also got to lay on hands with being level 2 Paladin. So those are my two major new things that I got this time.
All right, and time for the hit point roll.
And Shadow Mist leveled up to level 5, and he's doing a lot better now.
Good. I'm going to go ahead and unplug and replug that cam as well, so she's going to drop out for a second, but you'll still have audio.
All right.
What was yours called? Song?
9.
Okay. Very nice.
Coordinated maneuvers.
Add your con bonus.
Oh, maneuvers.
And
Okay.
well done by all. You guys had excellent hit point rolls there.
Where's my calculator? I can't do this in my hand.
If it keeps doing it, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to try unplugging at the PC. It's not that distracting, guys, but it's a little bit distracting, so I want to try to see if I can get this to fix.
So, I now have coordinated maneuvers because I took off 2-weapon fighting because I can't 2-weapon fight with one arm.
That is true.
That's my mechanics now. That's pretty good.
Okay. And then so let's try, Evelyn, can you follow this cord right here and unplug that one?
Gotta go.
Okay.
Amazon. Okay, it's unplugged.
Great. And now plug it back in.
And it's back in. Ooh.
And I will reactivate, and then we'll move on. If this doesn't do it, it's not that bad. While we're getting started, if I can fix it, I will. All right.
These two returns together in a tavern engaging game. Oh no.
What's that?
Rory's comment about all the characters from this campaign running into the other characters from Greyhawk Awakening in a tavern. Oh, that would be a disaster.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, guys. All right, that looks good, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So.
Kate and Millie alone the tavern would be burned down in 5 seconds.
Sounds like a great idea.
It is chilly and cold. The rain still falls over the mountains. I'll show you again Fort Rannick. Pull it up here on my pictures. Got nuked, so I'll pull that there. So Fort Rannick, as you can see here, and I'll kind of pan this out with this cam for our audience. This is an approximation here of Fort Rannick. So at the back there where you see Eamon and Cade, that would actually be the mountains that you see behind on this picture. So I'm going to pull up the battle cam and the monitor at the same time so you can kind of compare. So, this fort sits up against this mountain with the river that flows in front of it, forming effectively a moat. Even though the river does not circle, it does flow in front of the keep, and the keep is shielded in the back by those mountains. You have the party here up front, and I'm going to kind of roll this around so all of you can see as well. And so what you see are Cade, Eamon, you see Solomon, you see there is Irda with Shadow Mist up front as well, and then you see the town, or actually, Evelyn, pardon me, Irda is inside. She's the one that opened up the portcullis. So she's inside the keep here, and you can see there are townspeople from Turtleback Ferry, the survivors. They are streaming in to now the abandoned fort that you have secured, and striving to find warmth and shelter. As they do so, the children, all of the adults, they're all streaming in as well. And we're going to kick off the background sounds. And as the rain falls, the river continues to swell. Here it's being impacted by the Skull River, which was flowing down into Turtleback Ferry. All these lands are becoming saturated. The river's actually starting to swell outside of its banks now, and it's rushing with great speed. All the townspeople are huddled together, and they look sad and forlorn, scared. Many have lost loved ones, homes destroyed, a complete uncertainty and fear. They're almost following instructions blindly and numbly, just in an effort to have some sort of refuge as they move like sodden rats over the bridge and skulk their way through the portcullis. The rest of the party, you stand outside, you see Irda inside.
And Damon, you should be in there with me. Because we were cleaning up bodies together.
Right. Thank you.
I stayed in the cave. And I am mourning my friend.
Okay.
Poquito.
Tim gave a advantage or disadvantage to a random recipient.
Me.
Oh, thank you very much, Tim.
I'll take it from Tim. And I'll give myself an advantage.
Apparently not understanding the meaning of random. I'm going to go ahead and roll a d10 here.
Roll me dice.
So it'll be 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10. Can you get it out of there?
I'll give myself an advantage.
All right. So it goes to 9. It goes to the DM. It's just meant to be. See, those dice just
Tim,
roll
I don't
high.
like you anymore. Even less.
He randomized it. You can't
He did
be mad at
randomize.
him
You
for
can't get
that.
mad at it. Hey, 888. Oh, no worries, man. No worries. Let's start. But next time you're
Random.
You're ready. Okay. Solomon, you're the only party member now out front with the remainder of the townspeople. Several of the children, they look over at you. You see they're taking comfort from your shiny armor and your tall stature.
Of course. I kind of look around to see if it looks like any of them need anything, apart from needing everything, because, they're a day's walk away from their village that's gone.
Totally underwater.
You do see there's a mother, and she's got a child on her hip and an infant on her other hip, another one dragging in tow. She's got a sack on her back. She's struggling to make it over the bridge.
I go up to her and help her take the sack across.
I'm sure you have more important things to do. I'll be fine. I can make it.
No, it's fine. It's no worry.
Oh, thank you. So you help her across the bridge. The bridge it's strong. There's no creaking. But again, you see now the ends of the bridge are starting to be consumed by the width of the river as the waters continue to swell.
As I'm mourning in my cave.
I walk briskly back to the cave.
Okay. So, Cade, as you're in the cave, nursing your rum and mourning your friend, you hear the sound of Solomon, his armor clinking, footsteps wet slogging in the mud.
Cade, we need to start.
Hold on. I heard Solomon, come in. Just let me mourn your friend a little longer. Poquito, he was a good mate.
Okay, but there are people out there that we can save.
We could have saved him. How did he die here? We were so close. I was so close. How did I let him die?
Solomon just kind of looks at Cade with a slightly confused look. The river in front of the fort is flooding. Cade, if we don't get the people across soon, we won't be able to.
I'm gonna drown in my sorrows.
Or you can drown in a river. I grab Cade's arm and say, come on, Cade.
As he's doing this, Ray, you see Ray has flown behind Solomon, and as he's flying, you see he goes, and he's pointing at Solomon's pouch.
I grab the pouch and I pull it out.
No.
That was a sudden and immediate reaction with little information. Okay, so you reach out. Solomon pulls away. Solomon, you didn't see. Ray's behind you. You have no idea why.
What are you doing?
Right. He's pointing. Did you tell me the truth?
Yes.
Was there anything on Poquito Huevos that
No.
you took?
There was absolutely nothing
Ray!
except for that jug of rum.
Right. Right. What are you trying to tell me?
I turn back at Ray.
When you turn around, you see Ray just kind of crosses his arms and gets quiet, floating in the air.
I don't think a friend would lie, would you?
I would not, Cade. You are absolutely correct.
But that pouch doesn't look like yours.
But this pouch is mine. This is the same pouch I've had.
It is.
Oh, it is?
It's the same
I thought you said he took a pouch off of it.
I took
He said things.
No, you were there. Like you heard this in game. He took the contents of a pouch.
Oh, I
He did
said
not take the
Okay.
pouch.
Okay. Oh, so the pouch is still on?
There's an empty pouch on it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. While this is going on, Eamon, Erda, anything you're doing inside the fort?
Have the people started coming inside the fort now?
Yes, like it's.
Okay.
You've got almost. Obviously, I'm not going to put 85 minis here
Right,
on
right,
the board.
right.
You get the idea. But you have now the townspeople.
And-
They're looking around, even though you've cleaned it as best you can. It's none of them are foolish. They
Yeah.
know what happened here.
So then I guess Shadow Mist and Kib would be coming in as well since they had the children on their backs.
That's right.
Alright, so then I guess like
Are there any more outside, or are they pretty
No,
much
you've
in at this
you've
point?
gotten. Now you don't know that there may be stragglers from the town that didn't make it in your group but are wandering these forests. I mean, you have no idea. But everything that you can see, all the ones that were with you, have now made it inside. You've got Kib, you've got Shadow Mist. Everyone is in the fort now.
Has Shadow Mist's beacon of light worn off at this point?
let me see. It lasts for like an hour and a half, I think, is what the duration is.
So probably at this point, yeah. 'Cause that was a long
10
walk.
minutes per level, so 90 minutes, yeah, an hour and a half. But I can cast it again after the rest.
Okay.
Do we have a building that has a fireplace?
Yeah, I mean, you know this well. You know that there was a great house here. This was commonly used where they stayed. You have this tower here. This is, where you were found. You have another huge sort of hall here.
So I would.
This would make probably the most sense initially.
Okay, then I'd like to try to find wood and kindling and start a fire.
Is that what we found the people stew?
What's that?
Is that where
No,
some
that was in
people
here.
stew? Okay, so
That was
let's
in here, yes.
keep them away from that building right now.
All right, so there are there's no dry kindling out here. Everything is sodden, but there is wood in these stables here in this area, and there was wood stacked in certain areas that are covered. So you're able to get that. The people start at your direction, huddling in here, and then even inside this tower, these two structures alone can handle the size of the town folk that you brought with you. By the way, I want to do a quick check here for sound. Is everybody able to hear Eamon okay when he's talking? I know I've got ambient storms, and I want to make sure his voice came through. Go ahead and just say what you're doing with the kindling.
Yeah, I'm carrying it into a fireplace and trying to start a fire.
Okay. All right. We go back now to Solomon and Cade.
All right, I want to sense.
Sense motive.
Yes.
Okay. What is your sense motive skill?
That's a good question. Probably not good. +6.
You feel fairly confident that he is not being honest with you.
This makes me heart sad. Because I am mourning the loss of my friend, because he was a very good friend of mine. And I'm kicking myself because he was alive when we were at Fort Rannick.
Was he?
He could have been.
He also could have been dead.
But he's fresh. He didn't say it stunk really bad. That was fresh guts. So I do believe he was alive, and I missed him. So I'll take me rum and go back. I'm gonna go back sad.
You see, Cade, you sense his disbelief. And instead of getting big and angry as you see him do so often, his shoulders seem to slump as though the rain itself has sodden his spirit. And he mucks back toward the fort. As he does so, you look and you see rays on his shoulder, but he's backwards facing you, and he's just got his arms crossed and he's glowering at you.
I'd follow a little behind Cade. A good little distance behind.
All right. As you are coming up close, go ahead and move your figures there close to the edge. All right. So as you're coming up to the bridge, you hear the sound of horse hooves. A single rider.
I turn and look at where I hear the hooves from.
I'm too sad. I just keep trudging with my arms.
Okay. So as you're crossing the bridge, you turn your gaze, and it takes you a second to you see a horse, a chestnut roan, matted with not only water but its mane stuck together with blood, and you see a strange looking. There's a figure hunched over the neck of the horse, but it doesn't look human. The horse stops about 20 feet away next to the edge of the river, blowing, its withers shaking, and again you see this bizarre looking creature covered in blood that sits atop the horse.
Cade, do you see this?
I turn around. Well, go look at it. Brave one.
Okay.
Hope you live.
Who goes there? I shout over the rain and everything.
So you guys, you hear this. You hear a shout through the rain from Solomon's baritone voice. Who goes there? The horse, the sound of your voice, it kind of pivots. As it does so, whatever this creature is atop it lolls over, thunk, and slumps into the mud.
Do I see it?
Yeah.
What is it?
I draw my spear and slowly
I draw me sword.
walk up to it.
All right, hang on 1 second here.
And I let him go first.
Is that new?
Got a cam to deactivate here. 1 second. Oh, we're having one of those days today. We haven't had one of these. Seems like once every couple of months, right about the time we're feeling really. Everything was rebooted today. Everything was redone. And let me see. Okay, I see what happened here. The app crashed. It wasn't even the camera this time. It was a stupid extra app for my DSLR. 1 second, crew. I will have this back in short order, I think. Okay, hold on. So as you approach with your spear, it slowly becomes clear to you why you didn't recognize what you were looking at. It is a man. It's a human. But he's got, where both of his arms are, you see bone and sinew dangling. It looks like both of his arms have been ripped right from the shoulder sockets.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh dear. Get him. And I'll get the horse to drag him in.
Okay.
So there's something out here. Destroy stuff.
I'd pick up the man and his bones and start walking back towards the gate.
Is he dead? Do we know?
You don't know yet. All right, so Irda, Eamon, as the townspeople are filing in, Eamon, one of the townmen, has taken over for you. He took the kindling. He is starting a fire inside the Great Hall. But you see Cade and Solomon come walking in the fort, and Solomon is clutching what looks like a bloody pile of rags.
I help the last of the children down off of Shadow Mist, and I'm basically turning to prepare to take him to the stables when I see Solomon come in like this.
Okay.
And I say,
I take him to the human stew house. Or that building.
What do you have there, Solomon?
A human?
And
He's got less arms than me, that's for sure.
I turn to Shadow Mist and I say, get out of the rain. I will come help you with your saddle in a moment. A human.
Cade and I were walking up to the moat, or up to the gate, and this horse ran up, and whatever this is fell off of it.
Let's get him somewhere dry. Maybe I can help with
The stew house.
All right. You take him into the Great Hall. You see, even though it's been cleaned out, and even though there were prestidigitations and other things done, there is still a faint stench inside the hall, and you can almost feel the haunting of the spirits of the Black Arrows that perished here in horrible ways. Oh, golly. Oh, no, Aquanitis, we have another punter on our hands. No, that's well done. It's, the Mad Chatters, they are well known for their puns, and they just pop these things out at ridiculous rates. All right, so you go inside. The sound of the rain, now distant, pelting on the windows and the roof. And you do hear a moan as you lay the man down on the ground. You see there is still fresh red blood flowing from one of the two shoulder sockets.
who's all in here with us.
So I know the three of you are in.
I'm taking the horse to the stables.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I mean, if I've come out after that guy is
Yes, you saw
started,
this.
I saw this, and I'm going to walk to the mill house.
All right, so you're stabling the horses. It's just the three of you.
I'm going to turn to Eamon and say, Eamon, can you go close the portcullis and return to us? I just don't feel comfortable leaving it open, and I would like to be here to tend to this man. So
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you. All right. So you said you found him. He was.
Outside, his horse rode up and then he toppled off of it.
So I move. What are you still holding him or you
I
laying him
would
down?
have set him down on probably one of the tables in there.
All right. So I'm going to go then to him and kind of inspect what the wounds seem to be.
All right, as you do this, you see it was tough to tell at first because there's so much blood that has sodden the insignia, but he has a black arrow cloak on. And you see it takes no medical knowledge to realize something literally ripped each of his arms off.
Okay.
There are no neat slices, no cuts, no blunt wounds. It's like picking wings off a fly. Something has ripped both of his arms out of their sockets.
I'm going to just
I don't want to meet up with this thing.
check to see if he's still alive.
Yeah, you feel a thready pulse.
All right.
He's lost a lot of blood. He's pallid.
I'm going to then reach down and lay my hands upon his chest and cast a Cure Serious Wounds on him.
Okay. As you're doing this, you notice one of the two arms that had been ripped, that I referenced, one was still bleeding, the other was not. You actually see there was some crude cauterization done on one of the arm sockets. It's like a torch or something was held against one side, one of the arms. There's still bits of raw flesh on top, but critical areas were cauterized on that side.
23 points of healing for him.
Okay. So as you pray and summon your healing power, he rolls over. No more, please, no more.
Calm.
No more.
Calm yourself, please. You are safe here. I'm Irda, and we found you and your horse. My friend Solomon here did.
Hey, where am I? Mother? Mother, is that you?
You are in Fort Rannick.
No, that can't be. They took it. They have Lamata.
What? Who are they and what did they take?
He kind of lulls over. You've clearly healed him, but the trauma that he's gone through, he lapses from consciousness.
All right.
You think the ogres could have done this?
There was also mention of the giant Makmorian. It's very possible.
I head back towards them.
Okay, so as you head back, you see there is also Eamon heading back, as Eamon has closed the portcullis, and you both head back toward
I speak to Eamon.
What?
Eamon, do you have any woodworking skills?
No.
Oh. Well, rats. All right, well, I need help finding somebody who can... I would like to create a casket of sorts for my friend Poquito.
I mean, there are many men here. They may have some sort of skill along those
Okay.
lines. You may be able to ask, but perhaps give them a
Yes.
night of rest.
Yes,
It's been a long day.
tomorrow.
Okay. All right, you have this conversation. You walk back in, and you see Irda. She's leaning over the form of the body that Solomon dragged in. There's no longer blood flowing from his open wound, but his head is lolled over to the side, and his skin is utterly pallid.
Does he live?
Barely.
He's alive. He when he
Well,
awoke.
don't let him see the stew around here.
When he awoke after I healed him what I could for now, he spoke of somebody he was referring to as they, and they took something, but I did not understand what they were or what they took before he passed out. so I do not know. We probably should let him take the time he needs to rest because these wounds are very serious.
Okay. All right. So, it was already getting toward evening. By the way, the chill in the air was profound. You feel autumn giving way perhaps even a bit early to the chill winds of winter. It is frigid now as the sun begins to fall. And so all the level ups actually occur overnight now, right? They don't occur as you're walking in, but we have you do those in advance of the game so it's not interrupting the game. So you will be able to give me any instructions, any conversations that you want to have, any preparations that you want to make, anything you want to do before you rest this evening. And we'll kind of take this as a quick OOC conversation.
Haven's going to seek out the teacher and see if
Really?
she recognized whether the parents of the blonde girl are within this group of people at the moment.
Okay, all right, we'll resolve that in a second. Anyone else?
I want to try and find either like a blacksmith or somebody who would be able to identify the Poquito Huevos' blade or his sword.
All right.
Without Cade.
Maybe repair your armor?
Nah.
As you ask around, you actually find a grizzled man in his, looks like he's probably late in his 40th to 50th winter. And you ask about a blacksmith. He looks at you with hollowed out eyes and shakes his head. Graven didn't make it. He was lost. He tried to go back for his equipment. I told him not to.
Oh. That is very unfortunate.
All right, Kate, what are you doing?
So is there a, what is this little place?
That was the Great Hall. So
Hey, is there a fireplace?
yeah, that's the one that he's already gone in and lit up.
I will go in and build me a fire, nice and hot.
Well, there's already a fire.
Oh, there's already a fire. then I go in and I sit.
All right,
and
as you
pour
walk
me
in.
some rum, and if anybody is around, I will tell a tale about Poquito Huevos.
All right. So as you walk in, let's go ahead and get our inside lighting on. As you walk in, again, the sound of the rain beats on the rooftop, and you do see a crackling fire. As the fire burns, there is the sound of some weeping. You hear some of the townspeople crying out. Okay, that's a pretty big fire. Hang on.
It's raging, folks. The Great Hall's about to go up.
All right, let's bring that down just a little bit. Well, my normal campfire is going to have crickets, and I figured that's not appropriate for inside here, so all right. You sit in front of the fire.
I pour me some rum out of Poquito's jug.
You see several hollowed eyes look around. Children are huddled by the
And
fire.
I'm sad. I'm trying to get sad. So I sit down. To Poquito. Drink some rum.
You see an older man, bald pate, wispy strands of hair. Would you be willing to share some of that?
Would you be willing to hear a story about your friend Poquito? Let's drink and share.
All right then.
All right, so I pour. This was Poquito's finest rum. You will see. Give him a drink. Oh!
He takes a quaff.
I see you're not made of pirate stuff, I see. Only the best pirates.
What is this? Oh, my lungs are on fire.
Good.
My throat
Enjoy
is
the
burned to
feeling.
slag and my stomach roils.
You're right, sir. That's the way it should feel. That's right. Poquito Huevos only had the best rum. And I'll tell you why Poquito is me best mate. Because when we were at that one stop, where Poquito fortunately got his name, Poquito Huevos, we decided to go on a night of drinking and gambling. You know I like me dice.
Do you like to play dice, sir?
I'm a poor man and I don't have the means for such things.
Oh, well, I'll give you some copper and we can go at it. But we like to play our dice. So I wasn't always an honest man. And
Shocking.
we were playing dice and I, maybe had a weighted dice. I don't know. And, well, one of the men came up behind me and went to stab me. A poquito saw it. He jumped up. Well, let's just say that man won't be stabbing anyone ever again. But he saved me life. And to him, I owe Poquito everything. And he is my best mate, and my heart is sad.
Oh, that's a sad tale. He sounds like a good friend.
He was.
Have you anything to drink that isn't like turpentine?
Are you dissing?
I
want to say something.
Am I what?
I wanted to rhyme.
I don't understand.
Here, have another swig. You'll warm ya. Try it. You like it. It burned less.
He takes another swig.
Wow, you're weak.
It was a bit better than.
I knew it. Would you like some copper? I hand him some copper. I tell you what, not tonight. Here's some copper. You can live a life of a pirate one of these nights. And we'll play some dice. Just keep it. So I give him a little bag of copper. Okay.
You see,
Wow, he is weak. Weak sauce.
all right. So you do find Tilia. She's actually taken up residence in the tower. She's got what look like two of her own children with her, and then she's got two of the other children that you saw, which you had rescued, and then there are a handful of other townspeople around her. They're wringing out sodden clothing. They're trying, as people are wont to do, even in the greatest of tragedies, to create some semblance of order and restoration as they move around this cold fort and try to make some sort of a refuge for themselves. She looks up and she sees you coming. I never gave you a proper thank you, but what you did for us, it was very, very brave, and we are very thankful.
You're welcome, but it was not enough. The little girl who was lost. Have you seen her parents here?
Oh, Tabitha, her parents, they are upstairs. I told them what happened. Her mother has not stopped weeping.
Thank you. I'll go upstairs.
As you kind of walk that way, Tilia looks at you. She says, I don't mean to tell you your business, but I don't think this is the time to speak with her. This kind of grief does not go away with words or gestures. Do as you wish.
I will heed your words. But if you would not mind letting me know when you think maybe unacceptable.
Of course, I will try to speak with her again. If she is even showing the slightest signs of recovering her wits, I will seek you out.
Is it just her mother, or does her father yet live also?
It's not really her father, it's a second husband, but he's there with the mother, yes.
Okay.
All right. So that covers you guys. Now back out to Irda. Remind me what you're doing.
So she's going to kind of look at the man that's currently sleeping for a moment, and she will just let him rest for just a little bit so that she can go to the stables and take care of Shadow Mist. So she goes over to the stables and she starts removing his saddle and his tacking and all of the bags and things and putting them just over one of the dividers in the stall so that they can hang and dry. And she will brush him down and she gets his food, like whatever is available, and preps his food so that he can eat, and she gives him an apple as well, just as a treat for being so very helpful during the day. And she just kind of says a quiet thank you to him. She's feeling a great deal of sadness right now, and so she's not going to be as talkative to him as she normally would be.
You sense the normal sentience that you've sensed from Shadow Mist. He nuzzles you occasionally. He's not even as active or expressive as he normally is. He kind of keeps his head low. He accepts your ministrations with obvious equestrian gratitude, but he's not really trying to engage with you in any direct way.
And then
in the stall next, you hear Kib snorting and rooting around and looking for something to eat.
As soon as I am done helping Shadow Mist, I will return to the hall where the man is resting. And she's going to, because he's laid out on the table, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So she's actually going to, how long is the table?
Oh, this is like a good 12-foot table, 6 foot wide. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So she's actually going to climb up and sit on the table at his feet, basically, and just kind of sit cross-legged. And she'll pull out her flute, and she's just going to kind of play music quietly and just watch over him. She just needs, it's almost meditative, like she's in prayer, but it's like she's praying using the music that she has. She just needs this time away and the solace and to watch over this man to make sure that he's okay.
All right, you pray over him. The melody of your flute flows in timing with the percussive beat of rain and the shallow sound of wind as it stretches across the panes of the great hall. There is a chill that really starts to move through the bones of this structure as the night deepens. Solomon, anything else you're doing?
After trying to find a blacksmith, I'm going to go back into the Great Hall and keep an eye on the mangled body.
Okay. All right. You rejoin as you walk in. You see Irda, and she's atop the table. She's got her legs crossed, sitting atop the table, and she's playing the flute. You've heard her play, at times even in combat, you've heard her use this flute, but now it has a haunting melody that echoes off the stone walls in the chamber and just creates a sense of melancholy, longing, and hope. All right.
As I hear that, I'm going to gather some wood for that building, and I'll knock on the door. Just having seen, here to do her, meditation in the past of being respectful, and knock on the door. I don't know that Solomon's in there, I guess.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So to be clear, you wouldn't have heard any of this. You wouldn't have even heard the flute from that hall, but you do know where they went. You already had a mind to, create fire and warmth, so it would be intuitive for you to go over there and do that. So you walk up. As you get close to the door, you can hear the sound of a flute over the patter of the rain. And Solomon, you just came in a moment before, your armor still dripping wet, and you hear a on the door.
I reach behind me and open it slightly to see who it is, and when I see that it's Eamon, I open it up all the way.
Okay, you pull the door open. You see Eamon standing out in the rain. He's got a bundle of wood in one hand. It was kind of knocking, as best he could, holding this pile of wood. He's got part of his cloak sheltering it from the rain.
You need help?
Yes, I figured we should probably make a fire for him. He is weak and he will need warmth through this evening.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. All right. So,
And
go ahead.
by the way, as Solomon came in and as Amon's come in, Irda has not taken her eyes off of the man. Like, she gives them no notice. She's completely focused, and it seems like almost like she's in a trance.
Okay. All right, and you do see a thready rise and fall, in his neck, the beat of his heart, his chest, sometimes ragged, sometimes steady, but still alive. All right, so you're making a fire, you're praying and meditating over him.
Where are all the people?
They're all scattered between these two buildings.
Oh, okay.
And they're in this building, you're in here. So you're inside with the folks that are around the fire that Eamon first built, and next to the man that is now out cold from your rub. And, they're just, again, people doing the same things I described earlier, huddled around, rigging out clothing, speaking to children. As you're there, you see a heavy-set woman comes walking over to you. She's got her hair pulled back with an apron, and she says, "Well, what are we going to eat here?
Hey.
There's an awful lot of us, and I've seen no larders, no stores."
That's a very good question, ma'am. Do you know how to cook?
"I don't know how to cook from air, and we can't survive on rum."
Well, I'll go look for some food.
She looks at you dubiously.
All right, I'll tell you what, ma'am. I'm gonna go hunt. Well, not really hunt, but I'm gonna go look, see what I can find for the children. I do think I'm hungry. And pickles ain't gonna do it. All right, so I go. Would it be in the stew house?
No, you've been through all. There's no food in this fort. It was all
There's
cleared out
no
by the
food.
ogres. I mean,
No.
unless there's something. Hey, thank
right,
you,
so
Jay.
All right, are there any men in here?
Yes.
Men.
You see several haggard faces, drawn, hollowed out eyes. look up
Anybody
at you.
have a bow or any hunters in here?
No one has any visible bows. Some look like they have basic weapons, daggers, and things like that. You do see two men that were huddled together over in the corner. They look like they're younger men. One wearing a brown cloak, the other with a sort of a deep olive cloak. They look up at you. They kind of nod, but then they hold their robes out to say as though they have nothing.
Well, I'll go over here.
All right. As you step out to do that, we're going to get ready to take our break here in a second. I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody. I didn't want to interrupt anything, but to respond, Pat putting our
up
stuff
there.
out
Thank
on
you,
Reddit.
Zumba.
Thank you very much for that, Reddit. And thank you, Jay, for helping out with that. A reminder, we have this dice giveaway. These amazing, gorgeous sort of fire and crimson and amber dice from Cozy Gamer that we're going to be giving out here. We'll start that drawing right after our break in a few
Our Lord
minutes.
Gazumba gave all of us advantage.
Well, that's 500 though, so that leaves one left
All
over
right.
for the DM.
Extra one for the pirates.
So we got an advantage?
Yes, everybody got an advantage. And
Thank
all right,
you.
so yeah, no, you go through. You can spend as much time as you like. You don't find any food.
But what about guys with weapons?
Oh, weapons. So similar story. But
Hunters! I'm looking for hunters.
you find a few men that have daggers, some with staves. There's a middle-aged man.
He did give you 2.
Oh,
I gave 2 to
huzzah!
Cade. All right. There is a middle-aged man with. He's got a long sword that he managed to rescue from the flood.
Anybody know foods or berries that aren't poisonous that we could go out and forage?
Yeah,
Because I only know things of the sea, so we need to go out.
Yeah, so one of the men, he walks over, he nods at you. We know these forests, but we're not going out in this, and not in the middle of the night.
How are we gonna feed the children?
We'll have to do for tonight and look in the morning. It's suicide to go out in this.
I mean, dogs.
There was a good-sized horse I saw outside.
What do we need horses for riding? I don't think we should kill a horse. But I'm not against killing cats. Do you see any cats around here?
No.
No animals? Other than the cats?
No. The first no didn't make sense.
Hey.
All right. Anything else happening before you guys rest this evening? All right. So we'll do the full rest. All the level ups happen. Everybody gets back 2 hit points from natural healing. You are not in comfortable accommodations, but at least you're dry, you're warm, you have sufficient shelter, but you are, yes, certainly very hungry. Yeah, you had the sense, Pat, he was eyeing Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist looks like he could feed, 12 families of 4 for about 2 months.
They touched my horse and they're all losing their hands.
Hang on one second here. My stupid thing did it again.
He might look tempting.
You fix that.
Kid will take
Not
care of
eating my
that
horse.
himself.
Hang on. One more time. Okay, I don't know what it's doing now. All right, so I don't want to do that yet. Let's go ahead and, if you would, Jenny Cade, would you stand up and go turn that DSLR on and off again, please? All these cameras are giving us trouble today.
Yes, and
I don't know if that was on.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
So Irda thinks it's okay to punish people if they touch her horse, but not Rum.
me.
Interesting.
Not Irda. I do. I do. You don't touch my horse.
All right, so the next morning dawns. You've gotten through the night. You see the man that you've rescued. He's shivering on the table. It looks like something beyond simple wounds. If it's disease or infection, but his eyes, they do flutter open. He looks almost feverish.
Irda's going to pull her winter blanket out of her bag and cover him with it.
Oh, I'm not over there, am I? Alright, wake up and then go over there to sleep, I guess.
All right, I will allow that the next morning you do seek out the rest of the party.
Yes.
You walk
I'm
through
lonely.
the sodden fields of the courtyard of Fort Rannick. The old man that you liquored up, he was leaning against the wall, moaning, holding his head as you walked out.
Wait.
And you walk in, you see this just as Irda is laying a blanket over the top of this man, and he's just
You
shaking.
made it through the night? Oh.
Surprisingly.
Alright. He probably could use some rum. So I give him some rum.
No.
Warm him up.
I am going to...
Won't it? At least,
Maybe, but
at least,
he's also on the. I mean, can't hurt him.
I mean, it
He's
can't be
already
a
on the brink of
painkiller,
death.
You know?
They have Lamatar. They've done horrible things to him.
Lamatar.
You recognize that name. Lamatar was the head of Fort Rannick. He was the leader of all the Black Arrows. And this man in his ramblings utters his name and says that they have him. Ogres, they have giants of stone. They eat us. They eat me, bit my arms.
rum.
He seems to be moving between states of lucidity and delirium. His eyes alternately focused and unfocused. He looks over at you like almost he's not even comprehending the word rum.
I just pour some in. Hopefully he'll swallow.
Okay. You pour some. You pour some rum in his.
Oh, poor guy! He lost his arms. He's been disarmed.
He starts writhing on the table. He's having convulsions. His feet start to smack the table.
I had last night when I rested, I had a strange dream. I want to try something, and she's going to kind of hold her hands together and place them on his chest, and she's going to cast Lay on Hands. Perhaps this might help.
Okay.
Just one, but okay. So she just lay on hands for 1 point.
Okay. All right. So again, as you touch him, this you've obviously done lots of healing in your time, but there is an intimate connection that you form with the laying on of hands, and you feel what is some sort of a corruption coursing through his veins, something wrong, something unnatural, something evil that runs through his blood.
Can I tell what it is?
So let me see your character sheet real quick, please.
Oh, that would have been on his arm.
Okay. As you look at him more closely, you can't be sure, but you would guess that he has been stricken with some disease.
Do we see the star on him anywhere?
You start searching the body. Okay. You pull his arm. I mean, his.
He don't have no arm to pull, sir.
His pant legs up. That's what I meant. You pull his pant legs up. You look on his body, and he does have. He has the 7-pointed star tattooed on his ankle.
He has the star on his leg.
Yes.
Oh, I have an idea.
We need to remove those anyway.
Okay, I take my necklace. I'm just curious. What if I put the necklace onto that star? Does it do anything?
It does not.
Oh, I never get anything out of that. Why can't you give me once when I do something like this?
I think there have been one or two.
I don't know.
The convulsions stop. He stops kicking the table.
Emma.
They did it. The ogres, they broke the dam. They hammered night and day to bring the floods. And the sisters, they pray over their wicked cauldron to bring the rains, all to feed him.
Zanisha and Lucretia? Oh.
Do you speak of Mokmorian?
No. They serve Kozog. I've heard the name you speak, but Borl Breakbones, he's there in the mountains. He will not let this place rest. What are you doing here in our fort?
We took it back from the ogres.
We were sent here by the Lord Mayor of Magnamar to help because they had not heard from you in weeks, a fortnight at least, if I remember correctly. We came to bring our aid, but we were
We were betrayed. The fort was lost. But why are we here now?
because the whole of Turtleback Ferry was flooded out by the waters held back by the dam, and so we brought the people that survived here to higher ground.
You do see there is actually a bit of lucidity now that has grown in his eyes. The rum seems to have had some, at least temporarily, beneficial effect.
The rum?
He seems to take this in, and he says, he swallows it. He seems grateful for it. He holds in the choking this time, and he says,
The people are here. The townspeople. It's not safe. Borl, the ogres in the mountain, they will come. If you mean to leave them here, you must eliminate them.
That's what I want.
The sisters will continue to bring the rains until this entire land is underneath the water.
Do you know why they bring the rains? Why are they flooding everything? What point does it serve?
Don't you see? It was part of their plan. These cursed inscriptions that we all took, thinking we were getting some trifling benefit on the paradise. These they use to. They draw our energy, they curry our souls away to feed this creature. It was all the plan. We all were willing dupes. We took the mark, and then they slew us with the floods to feed it.
So that was the plan. But at least
Alright, so how do we get
as
these?
strong as they
Can we
expected
get
to be.
rid of this?
we should be able to by removing them from the skin, but it will take a while, and that is a lot of very injured people that we're talking about to remove all these tattoos.
Yeah.
What's the best way?
I mean, it's just to cut them from the skin.
So,
Could try and cauterize it.
can we burn them?
Perhaps it is as long I imagine as it breaks the.
Eamon shudders at the sound of burning these tattoos.
There you are. I see you, Mother. Is it nice there? Is it warm? It's so cold here. I'm so cold.
We're going to lose him.
Burn it off now!
Okay. I guess
I give him some more rum! Rum, sir!
Do you have any fire spells?
as you're dousing him with rum, he says,
The bad stuff, not my good stuff. I get it out of fast.
That's fine.
Boy, you guys just missed the most epic moment of compassion. Cade made sure that I knew it was not the good rum that he was pouring down this man's throat. All right, so he stops shaking for a moment as he takes more of the rum in. What he says,
Burn up! Burn up!
Have you a map?
I pulled the maps out that I have, and I hold which I have 3.
so he,
Here of this area. Have you a map of these forests, these mountains?
Yeah, I believe so. Hold on, let me see. I don't remember all the places that were on the maps. Hook Mountain, Viperwar, and Lurkwood were the ones I had.
yeah, so Hook Mountain.
Hook Mountain.
You pull that out, and I'll pull something up here you guys are familiar with.
Is there a fire burning in the fireplace here? Or
Yes,
we're
yes,
Ah,
All right, let me switch this over so our audience can see as well. All right.
arr.
So, here's Turtleback, right? We've walked through this before.
Yeah.
You started in Sandpoint here. Let me circle so my mouse can be seen for our stream as well. Sandpoint, and then you went to Magnamar. Then you traveled by
went back to
ship,
Sandpoint. Then we traveled by the-
right up, and then you traveled by land up here. Now you're up here, so you're in these mountains where Fort Rannick was. He points to this area here that you see marked with a square.
And that was the one that had the tiny writing
he
on it.
points,
that
just like when I say points, obviously he's got no, he's motioning.
Question.
They're above the dam, in the mountain, the Hook Mountain,
That's where they are.
in the snow, in the frost. There.
Arr! Do you know a good way? Have you seen a weakness of theirs?
Weakness. The giants are stone. They stand 30 feet tall. They pull my arms off like the legs of a beetle.
While he continues talking to Cade, Irda is actually going to lay the map down and slide over to the fireplace and hold her dagger into the flame to try to heat the blade so that
Okay. All right, you're heating
while
the
he's
blade.
distracted by Cade.
Okay. All right, so he's talking to you. It takes no time at all. You got a leather wrap on your pommel. You feel it start to come through the blade now. It's not turned red, but you can feel heat emanating off
I
of
give
it.
him another swig of wine out of me flask.
Oh, goodbye, El Birkin. You are going to be gone. We do not play those games here at Blue Box. We earn our followers the old-fashioned way. All right.
Alright, so once it's hot enough, I'm going, while he's still distracted by Cade, I will go over to where the rune is on his...
Did you see?
that is on his
Yeah,
leg.
his ankle. Uh-huh.
Did you see
And I'm
anything
gonna place the blade
at
against
all
it.
while you're up there that would help us defeat these? Think!
No,
And
nothing.
And then the blade is against his ankle. Well, right then.
What are you doing? He kicks on the table.
I'm sorry, I do not mean to hurt you, but I am trying to rid you of this scourge. That mark is...
So as you actually, it's as you touched it, when he jerked his leg, you literally felt the skin rip away from his ankle. The hot knife touched to the skin welded to the blade. You ripped it off. You see a huge chunk of the skin off of his
And-
ankle.
I immediately touch where the, like, next to the wounds, and I cast a cure moderate wounds on him.
Even
That's 22 points of healing.
all right. Even as you lay your magics and you see the wound start to knit, but then you feel it's as though the very life force that your magics are intended to induce to healing have left. His body shakes twice more, and he goes limp.
Wait, that didn't help? Taking it off?
As he goes limp, you see that same glowing energy that you saw as that body floated through the
That I
water
mentioned to them before.
on the ankle, and it's like a bit of mist floats up into the air and vanishes through the ceiling.
Okay, what
You
happened?
can't remove the marks.
What if that only happened because he was already almost dead?
Pat said Irda killed him. All right. I think this is a good time for the party to have a break, so I'm going to let them kind of think about this. We're going to take...
Well, this doesn't make sense. I don't like stuff like this. Because that should have...
Should it?
Yes.
All right. So you would like it to have. That doesn't mean that it should. All right. So reminder, we have these gorgeous, this dice bag and these dice from Cozy Gamer. These things are gorgeous, translucent, crimson, amber, sparkle. They are super gorgeous dice. We're going to give those away after the break. And yes, sorry, Tim. She healed him. Exactly. And that's
Okay.
right. The markings are magical
So,
once the thing has been placed.
Taking it off, did that kill him?
No. No. It's just you could see. I mean, his system was in utter shock. I've already referenced that she detected some sort of disease that was ravaging his body. Even just
And my star doesn't do anything? Because it should. If that doesn't do it, then this should have some sort of power.
It does have a power. It gives you +1 on saving throws. You've already determined that there is benefit from these amulets, but it's got nothing to do with the actual inscriptions on the skin, whether it's the carving that you saw on the bodies in Sandpoint or the tattoos that you've seen here on these bodies. Whatever is being done, it is creating some sort of, you've seen enough now. You know, there have been plenty. I'm not giving away anything that you shouldn't have already picked up. There is some sort of soul transmutation that's happening at the death of anyone that has taken this inscription on their body. Not someone that carries an amulet, but an actual physical inscription on the body. And with that, we're going to take our break, and we're going to be back just a few minutes. And as far as you know, she didn't kill him. All right, and we'll be right back. Thanks, everybody. Hang tight.
Causing dissension, the Tin Man is. Oh great, we're just gonna get torn limb from limb by rock giants, and the star people are all gonna cast their souls into sisters. We just might as well just kill ourselves here.
We still do power source that way. That way when they die.
Nikito's dead, everyone's dead. Just kill it.
Let's
Kill yourself.
mass suicide.
Since I'm actually remembering right now, can I see the Atrus Millie mini?
Find some
Because I
cool
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay. So that's the one you did.
Is she up top there? Up there next to the
see.
wizard? By the monitor?
Oh. Yes, this one right
Okay.
here.
I was like, I think that. Ah!
All right, so this is good for the hey, thanks everybody for being with us. Thank you so much. No worries, we appreciate the lurk and the support. Thanks for the bits, Jay. Thanks for all the great comments and chat, our mad chatters. All right, so quick question for the players.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to anticipate what, if anything, I should have set up in terms of terrain for this next section. Do you guys think it is your intent to go investigate what he's talking about? Do you think you're going to stay here? Or are you going to head back to Sandpoint? What are you inclined to do here?
Well, we can't abandon the people yet.
I'm thinking, Eamon's thinking we need to get them safe
Yeah.
before we do any investigation, and this is not safe. I mean,
Well-
we had to get away from the water.
And Irida's logic is if they're coming, like if the giants or whatever are coming, we're in a more advantageous position than we would be necessarily out there. So this gives us time to kind of prepare, I would say. So I'm not thinking about leaving yet.
Okay. All right.
They're going to barrel headlong into danger.
a predicament.
Well, when aren't we?
True. But now we know how deeply we are in a predicament.
Yeah. Yep. And I was right.
About
They brought the floods to kill the people with the tattoos.
at least we saved some of them.
Yeah. But that means they're just gonna try even harder to kill the people.
Yeah. And we've once again got them to a nice single location.
Well, at least it's a fortified location rather than Turtleback Ferry, which was not. But
But it's a 30-foot tall.
I wonder if they can track the symbols.
Probably. I feel like,
This is so stressful.
I don't know, back in Thistletop, there were all those real life, like, stone statues and whatnot. A bunch of the Sahedrin ruins. And I have a feeling that it's linked somehow.
I'm pretty sure with these things, it's all very intentional.
Put my sword back.
I want to get my axe. It's been at Magnum forever now. I went to get it enchanted.
Never getting back to Magnum.
I just wanted to get my sword, my axe enchanted. That's all I wanted. At least, by the time we do get back, if we do make it back, my sword will, my axe will definitely be enchanted. Magnamar.
Yeah.
It's just we'd have to get them back to Cade's ship, and getting them, all of these people across the swamp that is now flooded.
Also the swamp that we don't
There's a
know
way
how
we can
to...
get message to the ship.
And unfortunately, my message spell doesn't go that far.
I don't know about Parlay, but obviously.
Parlay,
Oh, Parlay.
Parlay is a homing pigeon, but
Poor Parlay.
he's all the way back on the boat.
At the boat.
And maybe Ray could
Man,
fly that
he
way,
would've
but
been there to have with me for messages.
That would have been.
wait, I could fly.
You a homing pigeon?
No, but I can fly now. I have wings. I can fly.
How long of a flight would that be?
I don't know, but
That's a good long ways away.
yeah, I can move 30 feet flying. But yeah, it would take me a while.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say how long it lasts. It just says I gain a pair of wings and grant a fly speed of 30 feet if wearing light armor. Fly is a class skill for you. Parlay is on the crow's nest on Cade's ship.
Well, he was.
Okay, we're going to be back in just a moment here.
As
Let
long
me
as the
accelerate
ship
this
is still,
timer.
floating
Yeah.
in the sea.
Because that's what I was wondering, with the floodwaters and all, if everything was
come-
high enough that you
Can
could get a
Cade
ship up a little
Come that
closer.
way. Come up the river.
But that's me, the player. Me,
Well, yeah.
human.
Because I was gonna say,
'Cause
they
I
don't
don't
know
even
that
know
we
if-
need them.
I don't even know if you have a boat.
I don't have a boat, I have a ship. A pirate ship.
A vessel.
That's right.
Call it a boat when
A
we're
fine pirate ship. Called the Ameko's Revenge,
That's right.
which is a very good ship name.
I thank ya.
All right, so a reminder to everyone, our incredible sponsor, Dragon Crafting Guild, his Etsy shop has the dice trays on sale
USB
now.
in there on that side.
$19.99 for the mini trays from DCG. You definitely want to check that out. And then other reminder
Oh,
is,
you had yours plugged in?
please sign up for virtual Greyhawk Con.
I didn't even see this.
If you have not signed up yet
Wow,
for
what a good
virtual
little
Greyhawk Con,
survey.
please go on to the site. The link will be popped up here in our chat in just a moment, and that's coming up October 2nd through 4th. You've got some amazing streams coming. We've got two from Blue Box. Please sign sign up for both of those. You've got folks like Eric Mona, Anna B. Meyer, you've got Luke Gygax. Jay has an all-star cast that he's running. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, October 2nd through 4th. I can't believe it's only 2 weeks away.
Yep.
I've got all kinds of stuff I've been preparing. I've got fun things for that Friday session, and I've got awful plans for the Greyhawk Awakening team. I mean, great things for the Greyhawk Awakening team on that Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I literally have 5 backup characters prepared for Greyhawk Awakening. I'm not even kidding. After Millie went into the negatives last Tuesday, I was like, I'm gonna just have a few backup characters.
It's not a bad idea to have a backup character.
I just need
It's
the right backstories.
It's really not. Okay, so we're going to kick back off, and if you heard at the break, I wanted to know just kind of a sense of what the players thought they might do. This is always a challenge for the style of game that we play. We like doing the tabletop, the minis, the terrain, but I am adamant that these things do not become rails for the players. You know, so I try to anticipate, like if I knew they were going to be at Fort Rannick today, right? So that was easy for me to set this up because I knew this is where they were starting. But coming out of the break, depending on whether they thought they were going to stay or leave or where they thought they might go, I made a determination to leave the terrain and not swap out the terrain. Now, if they decide ultimately to do something different, this is how I run it here, I may go ahead and try to swap out terrain on the fly, or sometimes we'll just go pure theater of mind. But I don't let the use of my terrain become something which constrains the direction, the growth, the free will of the players, if you will. And so we begin now. It is the second day, the morning of the second day that you've been back at Fort Rannick. The rains still fall steadily. There are occasional periods where they become lighter, still just sort of a drizzle that just creates a gray deluge across the land. And then occasionally they begin to become violent, and the thunder rocks and the lightning pierces the sky with jagged stretches of light, and the clouds roil with black darkness, and it seems to sort of ebb and flow in its potency. Right now, as you've woken up this following morning, the wind is chill in the air. You see there is frost on the ground in places where the rain is not actively hitting it underneath overhangs, and it is a steady drizzle, a gray, dismal morning. You see some of the townspeople are already up and around. Some have started to gather additional supplies. Others have come to you, Eamon, as you were searching around, and offered to search throughout the keep to see if there may be any supplies that have been missed.
Cam is flickering again.
Well, that's not as bad as the main cam dying. You know, it's funny. We, again, like, what, it's been, I don't know how many weeks since we had this happen, and it's just, it's one of those days. Everything was rebooted. You know, there's nothing that was not. That camera, I'm going to have you, I think, turn it on and off again. Sorry, audience. You are super patient today. Can you turn that on and off again for me, please? And the magic reboot. Any technology, just reboot. Boom, there we are back. All right, so, and, yeah, what do you do?
Who, me?
Any of you,
Oh,
yeah.
I want to find Irda.
I would be.
Are you with me?
Are we all still?
We're together.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys,
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
we were with him. As,
Irda, I need to speak with you.
of course, I would like to find. We need to bury this man as well. I think.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, well,
Hush. So, I would like to give my friend Poquito a proper burial.
all right.
And I was wondering.
Wait, what? But where did? Wait, I'm sorry, I missed something. What? Your friend Polquito is? Where did he come from, and why is he dead already?
Poquito!
When did this happen? I'm very confused. I was.
Found him down in the cave last night.
You don't even know about Poquito.
Well, I've heard you talk
He's
of him
my-
before, but we have not seen him. I don't understand. Like,
In the cave.
Did he join you yesterday?
No, it's a very sad. He was in the cave.
That
That cave, and I went in. and his guts were just ripped out. And I honestly believe he was alive while we were here. And he somehow died when we went down to Turtle Bay.
Oh, okay.
But I found him, and he's a dear friend of mine.
I can't give him burial rights. That is fine. We can bury him when we bury this man. I didn't.
Oh, we're not burying him with him. I need to give
not
him
in
the proper.
the same grave, Kate. At the same time is what I mean, but inside the fort.
But I would like. I need to get a proper. I want to send him to the ocean or the river. I have this hole, and in a casket that will sink to the bottom of the sea.
Want it to sink to the bottom of the river?
No. I want to make it where it gets to the sea and then sinks.
All right. If that is what you wish to do, but
I need to build a casket. Do you know how to do that?
I'm not a woodworker.
Oh my gosh! I have the perfect idea.
What?
We could bury him in a rum flask or a rum cask. Barrel. Oh!
Do you have one that's big enough for that?
It should be one in here. Still, it was a.
On account of his stomach being the way it is, I don't think.
Solomon, I'm very concerned about the way you've been.
All right, I
talking
look
the
around
last
for
several days.
like a rum wine barrel thing somewhere.
Do you really think he's going to make it all the way down the river to the ocean? From here?
I'll pray.
Pray. To who?
Never mind.
You don't
great
seem to be
question.
a praying type of
Well, I'll let Irda
Person.
pray.
Serenade,
Irda's what?
Serenade doesn't really deal in
Oh.
the seas.
Well, at least I'll think he's been prayed over.
I would still pray for him to Serenade, of course, but it is not the same.
But wine barrels, they float. It'll float to the sea.
But there are rocks and twists and turns and people.
I don't need to worry about that. I just need to worry about doing a good deed. And the good deed is sending a friend off the proper pirate burial.
Very well. Do what you need to make the arrangements, and I will do the
Okay.
rights.
So I try to find a this barrel or build something.
Okay.
Oh! While I'm talking to her. Also,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
couldn't help. I kept thinking about what the armless guy had to say last night.
Did we even catch his name?
No, I just doesn't have arms. And he talked about something, and I've been thinking about it. Now he mentioned something, but when I said Zanisha and Lucretia, he did not flinch. He said something about sisters praying for rain.
Right.
So who are the sisters? Did we catch that?
I mean, it sounds like some sort of mages from what I, would be my inference, but...
So are they around here?
Wait, we have a group
It sounds
called
like
the
they're
Brothers.
Oak Mountain.
Like the
Brothers
Brothers
of the Seven, yes.
Mm.
Perhaps they're,
sisters.
yes.
We need to stop their prayers.
Or their incantations, yes, I agree.
Can you pray?
Irda,
I'm very good at praying.
correct me if I am misrecalling, but wasn't Zanisha your sister? Or
No.
was that? Who was
Well, yeah.
it? No, okay. Never mind.
No, I'm not related to any serpentwood people.
That's good.
In general, but...
I knew we killed somebody that you were related to.
Yes, it was Nualia. Vanina was her name.
Okay, so what are you
So
doing?
I find a rum. Well, I mentioned that. So now I'm hunting for a rum barrel.
Yeah, you have no trouble. When you went through here the first time when this was still occupied, you saw emptied out barrels in different places where the ogres had consumed the contents of all the supplies from the Black Arrows.
While Kate does his search,
I found it.
Ireda's gonna go out and prepare the grave for the Black Arrow Man next to Jacardros and Vale, where they were buried.
They're in the courtyard, correct? Yeah. Okay.
So she's going to make a grave for this man to be laid with the other, like next to the other two.
All right. Irda, you begin to dig a grave next to where you laid the body of Jacardros and Vale earlier.
Will you go out and help me bring back Poquito Huevos?
Yes.
All right.
After you get back the rum casket.
I got it.
Yeah, you see, when he says this, he comes out. He's holding an empty barrel.
While he's looking for the rum barrel, then I'm going to search the Black Arrow's body.
Okay.
It's very, very laggy today.
It looks like he was stripped of all his belongings. You see, he doesn't even have a belt. It looks like it was forcibly ripped off his body. You see loops on his pantaloons are like popped open. Something like rummaged through him and took everything off of his body, including parts of his body.
I'd go with Cade to Huevos.
Aye, we go back. I want to bury him in the casket, in the barrel, with his belongings and mementos. Anybody finds this, they know he was a pirate. So, we go and get him.
Yes.
All right. So you head back out of the fort. You see them leave. Were you helping dig? Is that right?
No,
Oh.
I hadn't. Actually, I'm kind of curious, OC. I mean, I'm assuming there's still weapons around in this fort.
Yeah, like you stacked up piles and piles of swords, and there were bows. There were all the things you took from the Black Arrows. You didn't just toss those out when you dumped the bodies in the river.
So, I actually will distribute those to any able-bodied man or woman, just because of knowing where we are. Some sort of defense is better than, standing there
Sure.
helpless.
Yeah. So as you go through, you see and there are actually 4 more that in the morning. I forgot to mention this. We're standing outside the portcullis in the rain. 4 more refugees from the town, and so you've got close to 90 now. And of those, about 30 of them are adult men. Everything from young adults to middle-aged and older men, and so they gladly, and some of the women as well, they take weapons, bows, swords, daggers. Some even ask if any of the armor was recovered, but none of that had been pulled off the bodies before they were pulled into the river, so none of the armor was recovered. As you gather the body of Paquito from the cave. So you're outside are you coming back inside the fort, or are you just going to go hold the ceremony right at the river?
Back inside.
Well, it might be heavy to carry that rum barrel. I tell you what. Should have done this. Probably should have taken the rum barrel out there. Instead of carrying. Yeah. So.
This is your funeral, Cade.
All right. So we're gonna leave him outside. I don't want to bring him inside. Arr! And I go back inside to get the rum barrel. Oh, and I want to make an inscription on the rum barrel.
Okay. All right. What inscription are you carving on the rum barrel?
So. Hold on. Poquito Huevos. 'Twas me best mate. He happened upon a deadly fate. Was a pirate of the great big sea. True the sea shall he forever be. So I write that on the rum barrel.
Okay, that's going to take you some time.
Yes, it will.
All right, so you see Cade standing out or sitting in the rain in front of the river, the body of Paquito next to him crumpled and emaciated as he's carving this into the barrel. This is going to take you a good couple of hours. This is the same time that Irda's using to further dig the grave for the man that has fallen. Meanwhile, you distribute arms and you see townspeople, some of the men that had said they would, they're moving through areas of the fort, opening doors, going into different places and seeking. Solomon, what are you doing?
Staying out with Cade.
Okay. All right, so you're digging by yourself. Eventually, one of the townsmen comes over and he gives you aid, and he starts digging as well.
Oh.
And when Irda sees him come over, she just gives him a silent nod as she keeps digging.
He nods back without saying a word, understanding that grim and solemn work is being done. Yes, Solomon is quiet. Let me double check here. See, I should have looked over.
His mic was off.
Okay.
It was on standby, it wasn't all.
It's still not showing as up. You want to make sure? There we go. Now you're on.
Yep, it was off. Thought it was on
Yeah,
standby.
you were off. Now you were standby. Now you're on. Thank you for that, Myamorph, or Pat. Sorry, Pat. We appreciate that. All right, so you want to repeat what you said?
I was staying out with Cade.
Profound. Thank you. All right, as you're digging, slogging through the wet mud, silently, as you're scrivening your poem on the side of this barrel, Eamon, one of the men, comes rushing out. You there! What's your name? Eamon! We found something! Come look! The ogre's missed it!
Okay, I'll follow.
Alright, so he leads you up a set of stairs and into this tower. You head down through the tower. There's just enough natural light coming from some of the arrow slits. No one has torches. You make your way across treacherous stone steps that wind down, and as is always the manner of towers of this type, you note that the stairs wind in a direction so that as you're coming down, your right hand would be free. If you were coming up, your right hand would be against the wall, purposely designed to foil attackers. You get down to the base, but you see there are two men standing around, and they've cleared an area of dust away and pulled up a large wooden trap door. One of them, he has got a small candle that he has struck enough light to shine down in there. He holds it down. Look, sir! You look in, and you see what looks like a vast larder. You see dried meats. You see stacks of what look like cloth-covered bundles with oil. You see casks. It looks like a vast storage of hidden supplies that the Black Arrows were able to keep discreet from the ogres that took the place over.
This is good. My suggestion at this point would be to get enough of what we need for morning rations, but leave any extra here, and we need to figure out what we need to do with the rest of this, and I will speak with my friends on this matter.
So you notice among the men standing against the wall, you recognize the mayor, Mayor Shreed. I can help with this. I will organize the men. We can begin to pull rations out, and we should take a proper accounting of what we have here as well. I can help with this.
I sense motive.
Okay. What's your sense motive skill, please?
Let me check that out. Zero.
Okay, it's plus 0. All right. You can't really tell. You can gain no certainty.
Very well. It would be a help that you would oversee this.
He nods. You see he starts talking quietly with some of the men. Some of them start descending down, bringing the candle down with them into the larder. All right, so as this all is happening, sorry, go ahead.
I would go, and I'm going to go directly back up and speak with Erda and let her know that we found the rations. And the mayor's overseeing the distribution at the moment.
You see Irda as you're talking to her. She's covered in mud. She's got a man next to her. They're about 4 feet deep into the ground with a rectangle about the size of a body.
She's going to just pause for a moment, stick the shovel in the ground, and kind of lean on it and say, "Do you think we can trust him to do this properly?"
I cannot say. If you would like to have further conversation with him, I can take up where you have left off here, but I don't know his motive.
He seemed very sincere when we last met him, and he did forgive quite a deal of misbehavior from other people because we had rid the negative influence amongst us away, so I think it will probably be okay, but I will keep an eye on things.
As I will, also.
As they continue to dig, you see the clouds are starting to swell darker as you have seen them go in these patterns. Cade, you have now finished carving your inscription and you have finished digging your grave. It takes about the same amount of time.
Alright, so as soon as I'm done, I will pull myself up and set the shovel just into cover off to the side. Alright, so I need to get the man who came to us last night for rights, so I'm going to go and try to lift him.
Okay. All right, you walk in, you pull his body off the table. You know, he was light anyway. It was clear that he was emaciated, had not eaten in several days. You know, the removal of limbs, the loss of blood. You feel like you're carrying a small child frail in your arms. As you carry him out into the courtyard, you do see there are now some of the townsfolk that have noticed what you're doing, and they are gathering and starting to sort of congregate around. You see Cade comes walking back through the gates.
So Irda will carry him very carefully, and when she gets to the edge of the grave, she will lower him down gently into the grave that she and the man dug.
Okay, so you here lower his body down into the grave right next to where Jakardros and Vale lie.
And I'm going to look up at the people that have kind of gathered, and I'm going to say, does anybody know this man? Are there any words amongst you that you need to say in your goodbyes?
You see several blank faces, just general grief, but no specific grief for this man.
Right. So, over the top of the grave, Irda will just kind of lean over. She's kneeling in the wet earth next to it, and she will say, there has been too much death, and I am sad that I could not help you. But I do pray to Saren Ray that your soul is taken and you may be free of what tormented your soul. And then she'll silently get up and grab the shovel and start filling the hole again.
You all see this. The man standing next to her helps her. And it is always that poignant moment when the first shovelful of dirt slides over a face and begins to obscure symbolically a life that once was and now no longer is. The rain continues to pelt and rivulets flow over, just making the mud and slosh already. The grave is beginning to fill with water. And within a matter of minutes, there's a few sort of mutters from the crowd and a few townsfolk that make symbols and bow heads. But in moments, this man whose no one knows, no one's name, he is again returned to the earth.
And Yerda will look up, and she has tears in her eyes, and she will look at the others, out at the gathered group. So many lives have been lost here, and so many have fallen to lies and betrayal and misfortune. And I beseech you, all of you present and those who are not, be kind to one another. Help one another. Give what you cannot give and defend those who cannot defend themselves. For this is the greatest thing that we can do for another person.
As you say this, you see several of the townspeople, and again for our viewers here to help you with looking at the table and the minis here. So this is Irda here. This is Solomon, the Cavalier. Cade, the swashbuckling pirate, stands back here by the portcullis where he just walked in. And this is Eamon, the strange new member of the party whose cloak is always pulled, hood over his face, claws that wrap every spare bit of skin with the exception of his eyes. And then all the townsfolk that stand around. You see, as they are, many are taught, you do see most just drop their heads, but you see a middle-aged man and middle-aged woman that were standing sort of close to each other, but had a good foot of distance. The man, at your words, he kind of looks over and puts his arm around the woman, and she stiffens a moment, and then she leans into him.
And the last Irda looks to turn to leave, and then she kind of looks back for a moment and says, "We need each other more now than ever." So.
Aye, so I need you now.
Kate, your timing is impeccable.
As always, I need to send my friend Poquito off, and I would like to send him off with your flute. Wait, is it a flute you have?
Yes, I play a flute, yes.
Flute, that's it. Make a beautiful song as he floats down the river.
If that is what you wish, Kate.
I do. I would like my friends to gather around me to send my friend off.
I will follow.
I know Eamon, you didn't know him. And you don't know me very well, but you're welcome to come. For a pirate's funeral.
I'll follow.
Alright. So we go out. I wish I had some of Poquito's belongings to throw into this barrel. All I have is an empty pouch of his. Nothing in there.
Oh no! It's empty? What happened to
Her
her?
face broke.
So.
Her face?
Her face broke.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
It did.
we can rebase her.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
All right.
No, sounds like
I didn't.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me flask, a mirror, and put it inside the barrel, so he can go to the afterlife with some rum. No, not his rum, but this rum.
So you just said not the good one.
Not the good
So
rum.
when you pour one out, you pour the cheap one out. That's
Yes.
what you're saying.
Well, no, I put in a flask of rum with him.
Right. But
Yes.
not the good one.
Not the good
Yeah.
rum.
It was a,
So then, I'll open his pouch, and I'm gonna put in. Do I have any jewels? I was gonna put 2 small jewels in
I like you see small. Everything on a bit of a budget here, it sounds like. That's awesome.
it. And 10 pieces of gold for 10 good, solid years of friendship. A piece of gold for every year. And I put it in the pouch, and I put it in the barrel, and there's that plug. I make sure that plug is plugged in that barrel. There's a plug in the barrel. And we roll it to the river. Rolling.
Okay, all right. So hang on. All right, so the cheap rum is good enough to embalm the body. Yeah, Tim wants to know, he thinks it's a sign. What does the broken foundation perhaps mean for Irda? That's a great question. I love how he's always thinking in a nefarious manner.
We're going to send Poquito Huevos. This river, this mighty rushing river, is going to take him to the ocean.
Hopefully. Solomon.
He will, I have pirate faith.
All right.
I've never heard of the religion of piracy, but I learned something new every day.
It's a religion of...
So, Cade, you stand at the swelling banks of the river now. It's actually almost as high as the bridge. You guys, it was a bit treacherous getting over the surface of it, and the rain is really starting to fall. As the rain falls, as the lightning, jagged through the sky, you roll the barrel up. Remind us again what you wrote on the barrel.
Oh, Poquito Huevos. 'Twas me best mate. He happened upon me. 'Twas a pirate of the great big sea. To the sea shall he forever be.
All right, and as you read this out again, you do see there are several of the townspeople that are out here now. Many of the same that saw the burial of the man. They followed out, and you see Eamon is with you. Irda is nearby. Solomon stands by. Ray just clutches to your wet shirt.
Ray, can he fly with it? And does he have anything he can sprinkle on it?
Are you asking Ray or are you asking me?
Hey Ray, do you have anything you can sprinkle on the casket as it floats down the river?
He kind of holds up his hands as the rain is just pouring down.
Never mind. Oh! Hold on. Back up. Never mind. I wanted to throw 1 pickle in there. Put a pickle in there.
All right, so the barrel has a pickle,
Yes.
a flask of cheap rum,
Yes.
10 pieces of gold,
Yes.
and the 2 smallest jewels you could find in your
Yes.
pouch. Okay. All right.
What a collection.
You do though
I
see
need to write all that
as you're rolling the barrel up, you see that there's a figure behind you. You look over, and the old man that you gave the rum to last night, he comes up beside you and he just puts an arm around your shoulder.
You're a good mate. And I give him a swig of my good rum, and we drink one. Huzzah! Oh, wait! Everybody gets a swig of rum. Play your music.
Do you? Now, Kate, you did ask me to do rights for him. Do you want me to say anything? Do
Just
you
play
want to
the
say
music.
anything?
I don't need any religion. Just play the music.
Very well. And so Irda just pulls the flute
I'll
out.
play on uppity too. I have a little song I'd like to sing.
Uppity. Do you mean a beat?
Upbeat, yes. You know I'm not the smartest pirate around.
Alright, and so Irda thinks a moment and she remembers the festival that she attended as a child with her family.
Oh, this is perfect.
And it was one of her happier memories, but she remembers it's one of the first songs she learned how to play along with her family, and she raises the flute to her lips and she begins to play.
Everybody drink a string of rum. Huzzah!
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 All right,
To
the rum
poquito.
starts going around. You actually see, as the rum's hitting, a few of the people look kind of smiling, and like there's just a lightheartedness to the way that you're doing this that is welcome. Hang on here, this camera froze. Great time. Would you mind killing that cam and restarting it for me, please, Jen?
Turn it off and on again.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing today, but I'm going to take it out in the backyard and shoot it with a shotgun. There'll be free camera parts available on eBay.
Not as upbeat as I'd like, but I'll try.
All right, hang on. Let me try. Yeah, you know, I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
We
I'm
need
doing this
something
on
more
the fly.
tavern-y. You know what I mean?
All right. Okay. So hang on.
I mean, she knows how to. She did play music in the tavern that one
She
time.
did.
She did. She
When
did.
the guy hit on her and she was like, no thanks.
All right, let's try this one. I love doing things that I have no idea what I'm doing because the players just surprise me with what they're doing.
Oh, arr!
I don't know where the loot came from, but we'll go with it. All right. She begins
Starts playing
playing.
and then there's one of the townspeople
Yeah, one of the townspeople pulls out a bassinet and he starts playing as well.
Alright. Bassinet?
That's a cradle.
A bassoon?
Oh, no.
A bassinet's a cradle.
Okay, what am I? No, there's a thing. No. There's a stringed instrument. Maybe somebody can pop it in chat.
There's lute, mandolin,
I just read. I reread Dune, and it was referenced several times in Dune. Gurney Halleck had one in the Dune book. If anybody,
Not a bassinet. That's what we
Gurney.
put our children in.
babes.
Hang on, hold on. I want to get this right here.
Should I sing my song? while you're-
Gurney Halleck instrument. Balisette. It's a
Balisette.
balisette.
All right.
That's what I meant, not a
His
bassinet.
name is Balisette. Poquito, my wee little friend. Poquito, not a great end. Poquito didn't like all the great wenches. He also didn't like a lot of rum.
Huzzah.
Now I'll send you to the sea from whence you come.
You see, several of the times they're just scratching their heads, like the levity, the contrast to the somberness before, and some of the inanity in the words that you're saying. And then you roll the barrel into the water?
Yes.
All right.
Splash.
The barrel splashes into the water, and you see it rushes away. The storms have raised this so high, and soon the lute and the balisette, they stop, and you see the body of Paquito Huevos rolls down the river.
Goodbye,
Vanishes.
friend. My little friend.
Even as this happened, the storm again picks up another level.
And
All the sisters are praying. They're praying hard.
Did we happen to see if Poquito had a,
He did not. I checked.
okay.
alright. But I have to go back inside now.
Yes, it is very cold out here.
All right, so you head back into the fort, all right? And what are you doing now back in the fort? Several of the people have run back inside. The rain, the chill wind, it is frigid and unforgiving. Jagged lightning strikes a tree that looks less than a mile away. You see flames erupt into the sky. The people all scurry inside. The river now it's almost over the bridge.
You never know what I might come across in the sea.
Alright, so I want to, because Eamon told me that the Lord Mayor was working on the food, I just want to make sure that the rations are being distributed properly to all of the townsfolk.
Yeah, so as you come in, you see actually, by the time you come back in, several of the people have small meals in front of them, mostly dried rations, jerkies. There is actually a keg of mead that's been set in the hall, and you see Mayor Shreed. He's talking to several. It's as though this opportunity to occupy themselves with the common things of living have given them a brief release from all of the terror and the horror of remembrance. And the people are being fed. You see somewhere they've found paper. There appears to be some sort of an accounting that's taking place of the supplies, and some semblance of organization is beginning to happen.
I'm going to go over to the mayor and I'm going to say, my companion, Eamon, told me that you had found the food. How many days worth of food are you going to have? Will you have the supplies you need to last you? How long?
It will depend on how many additional refugees we have. But with this group here, there's a large lot. I think we have perhaps 2-3 months of rations.
Well, that's good news, and
We certainly have no shortage of water.
that is very true. All right, well, good. I'm glad to see everyone is getting at least warmer and fed. They do better to have food in their bellies. I need to go speak to the others, but I just wanted to make sure everything was coming along okay.
Okay.
Kate, I have an idea.
What?
We train the townsfolk in sword fighting and whatnot, so that way.
They can protect themselves?
Well, but I was thinking an army. But yes, protecting themselves also works.
Well, I think we need to do that anyway.
Yes.
So that they can be properly protect our
Yes.
fort.
Agreed.
This is gonna be our town, but we'll make it lovely for them.
Yeah.
So I rejoin the others.
Okay.
All right. I've spoken to the mayor, and it seems that everyone is okay as far as the food goes for now. But I do think we need to do something about this rain, and very soon. I don't know how long that if this keeps going, if the fort is going to stay above water. So if we're going to keep these people alive, we're going to need to deal with this.
I wish we could have kept that troll giant as our friend.
Well,
Feels like a lot of people were friends with
die?
end up dead.
Yes.
Hey,
Very dead.
Oh,
you know, Solomon, you're right.
Oh, see, how many horses do we have in the stables?
Okay, so you had Shadow Mist Kib. There were 2 other horses that were brought, and then the horse of the man that came on.
And Kate Force, right?
Yes. So, Kib and 5 horses.
5 horses. There are 4. I wonder if we should send a message to the nearest town, or to see if these people could take refuge there, because this is no place for regular town folk.
I mean,
just is not.
Anywhere they go, the storm will follow.
I don't think we should move anybody right now, but where did you find the food? Is there an underground, more tunnels that they could hide?
I
There
did
was
not
the cavern that we found Caven, Jakardros, and Bale.
That was in the ogre's house.
Oh,
Yeah, that was back at the...
Oh, that's right.
Erda lays out all the maps she has and just starts scanning it for any other little like settlements or anything nearby off of what Eamon had.
Yeah, so, you pull that out and you can cobble together from the different things you have. Let me pull it up here for everybody to see. And
because also
we open that. Okay, we do that.
the weather is turning, and 2 to 3 months of rations may not get us all the way through a harsh winter.
That is very true.
Are there any? Like, are you guys by yourselves? Where are you at?
We're kind of. I would think we would
way
be
by yourselves?
speaking
Okay.
with ourselves.
Probably in the great
Or did
hall.
we
Yeah,
find
back
any
in
like
the
bows and arrows?
All right. So you see here, there is nothing in terms of civilization within several days' journey. The closest things were this tiny little fishing town,
And
which
it's
you
probably
can
washed
presume. This and
underwater.
maybe even anything close on this lake, like you're going to have flood waters consuming all of these towns. So the closest thing would be here toward Viper Wall.
Which I have on one of the maps.
Yeah, over here toward Ravenmore. You're talking several days of journey.
So Ravenmore is up that way.
Yeah, so you're here.
Right.
And
Up
Turtleback was here, the dam was here, and the place that the man pointed to was here.
So I mean, and then with the maps, I will kind of show. Okay, so we know Hook Mountain. This is where the men spoke of, where the giants and the sisters, I guess, are at.
Yeah.
This is where they broke the dam. And then I will point over to Ravenmore. Now we could possibly try to get everyone over here. It's more north from where the dam broke, and that might be a safer place, but that's a long journey for a bunch of townspeople.
Shall I never make it back with it?
We did not see her.
She disappeared after she left the tavern.
And why did she do that again?
That she was pouting.
Over what?
She was upset
Our
because
disregard for the dead, some general ideas that
Kate
We
and
could
Solomon were talking about getting new statues of themselves because they really like
Because
having
we did a
statues
heroic
of
deed.
themselves.
Kind of like it.
And
I suggested selling the fort, and she didn't like that.
I want the fort. You can. Damn, selling this.
But what I'm thinking is, as an option, if we can stop whatever is going on in Hook Mountain, maybe we can take the people up to Ravenmore until the floodwaters completely recede, so that they can come back home. But it's going to be a long time, and I don't even know what's going to be left of Turtleback Ferry after all of these. It might be just gone.
Yeah, I would expect not much.
I love seeing party paralysis.
But I do think we need to deal with the pressing matter at hand. Hook Mountain. That is where we need to go.
If anyone knows somebody that knows, well, he's gone, never mind.
Who?
I was going to say something along the lines of, an evil curse or something that we could just put out there on the sisters and then eliminate.
A generic evil curse that wafts through the air and finds them unerringly.
Usually magic has to be a little more specific than that.
Listen. Shouldn't the people be warned or trained or weapons, so when we leave they can protect themselves?
I mean, we can take the time to train them some, but it takes years to be able to fight like we do.
not with me training them.
Oh, Solomon.
What about bows and arrows, They could be practicing.
Do you know how to use a bow and arrow?
Nope, I got one arm. Not much I can do.
I do know how to use a bow and arrow, but
Or send a signal if they're in trouble.
with this terrain, there's not going to be able to send many signals. So,
A scrying glass.
a what?
I don't know if it exists. Oh, see. Do scrying glasses exist in D&D?
What are scrying glasses?
Huh? What? Well, I mean, it's possible you would have heard of such a thing. you've never encountered anything like that.
I've heard tale before about a mirror or a piece of glass that you can look through and see essentially anywhere.
Are you talking about like a scrying spell?
Yes,
To
that
be
would
able
work
to
too.
like see where someone is, perhaps? That sort of thing? Is that what you're asking about?
Yes.
It takes a very powerful magic caster to be able to cast that spell. I've heard of it, but it takes a lot of power. And
Are these townspeople even worth anything to us? Like, don't we have anybody that can do anything clever? There's got to be somebody in this group.
Kate,
Yeah.
not everything is about value. You spend all your time thinking about coin and realize these people matter. They have lives of their own.
Well, you know what matters right now? That we don't drown.
And that means we go to Hook Mountain.
And we get torn apart by giants.
No, we tear apart the giants.
And not to devalue them in any way, but the ones that have that mark are definitely more valuable alive than dead. For the
You
sole
got me
purpose
there.
of them powering whatever is behind all this.
Yes, but they don't even know how to protect themselves.
Well,
They don't even know how to fight.
Well, to be clear, and again, I don't want to disrupt this utter flailing inadequacy that the party is doing right now because it makes for such riveting stream. But you've already seen that some of the people were equipping themselves with weapons. They've begun things to organize.
Well, okay.
They're not just feebly sitting around.
Well, that's what I envisioned.
But clearly, even your suggestion that they're going to be practicing with a bow, you would know enough that a bowstring, an extended period of time in this sort of rain becomes worthless. You are limited right now what they can do with this rain.
we need to stop it. This is our greatest problem right now. The rain that is falling everywhere. It is causing all of the problems. And the only way we're going to stop it is we're going to have to stop these casters that are causing this rain to come.
Yes.
We have more sisters to kill.
Yes.
And I'm ready to kill some sisters. I already splatted one, I'll splat another. Let's go. I just don't want to lose another heart.
You don't have many to spare, kid.
That would make you probably less valuable than anybody here if you lost another own.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I'll
then-
fight 'em with
But
my
it's not
teeth.
about value.
we should make our preparations and make sure everyone is as well as can be, and then we should start making our way.
Tell them to lock the door behind us.
Close the portcullis and pray that they
Keep it closed.
stay alive. What?
You know what? We didn't get out of the armless guy.
What?
He said they were Spartacus.
What?
Somebody betrayed them.
Yes.
But we did not find who.
It was Caven. He was speaking of Caven.
Oh.
He was saying that the fort was betrayed and that's how the ogres got in. He was telling us the same story we already
okay.
know. But yes, so
No! I should have killed him again.
you can only kill somebody once, Kate. Unfortunately, we can only kill people once.
Well, unfortunately.
Because when I see these sisters,
Alright, well, and Irda's gonna, she realizes she's been standing here, dripping, wet and muddy, and she's just gonna press the digitation, make sure her armor's all clean, her weapon, she's gonna check her weapons, get her bag started packed, check what rations she does have, and she'll probably go request some more for at least herself from the mayor to take with them.
Did we hear that?
Yeah, it was her
Awfully strange sound.
prestidigitation.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yes.
the
That's
sound
like-
of her spell.
Sounded like something very heavy coming down. Oh boy.
Oh, that's just sweet.
All right, so it sounds like the party. And again, this is your guys' call, but you've reached a decision. So your intent then is to gather
up.
supplies, close the portcullis, or have the portcullis behind you, and then head up to the area that was pointed to by the man whose arms had been ripped off. All right, so a couple points then. So I assume you're taking mounts and
Yes.
Kib. Is that the plan?
Yes.
All right. Are you leaving any instructions with the mayor or any
yes.
of the men of the fort?
Oh yes.
What would those be?
We'll go. I guess you and I can go up to the mayor, and I will just say, Mayor, we think we might know the source, at least, of all of this rain, and we seek to stop this so that hopefully someday you can go back to your homes, or at least some semblance of.
I knew this was not a natural storm. How do you mean to stop it?
We need to stop the casters that are causing it. They are using magic.
Magics! I
So-
knew it!
But myself and my allies, we are going to venture to where the man who came back, who we laid to rest this morning. We are going to venture where he told us that he believes it is coming from, to try to stop it. And I would like to request a few rations for my allies and myself to take with us on our journey. But I do think that you all should be prepared while we are gone. We will leave soon, close the portcullis behind us, and I recommend your men start taking shifts of guard. Walk the tower, or walk the walls, make sure that everyone is protected. You may have to fight. There is a very possibility that you may have to fight.
This makes sense, but it seems to me that our greatest fight we should be concerned with now is this water. I think I shall instruct the men to form a dirt embankment against the portcullis. Those bars will not hold back that river once it begins to flow, but the walls of this keep might give us additional time.
Yes, I agree. I would say do what you can to keep the water out and stay safe. We will try to remedy this as quickly as we can, but we may not come back. It sounds like a very serious place that we are heading to, or dangerous place that we're heading to.
Can you leave us a horse? We could send a man to one of the nearby towns to seek aid if you don't return. I don't like the idea of my people being stuck here with no resolve.
There should be.
There's an extra one
There is
from
at least.
the arms guy.
Yeah.
All right, I will find a man.
And I'm going to pull one of the maps out, and I'm just going to turn to him and say, if you have to send somebody, I recommend you send them here. And I'll point at Ravenmoor on the map and say, it is upriver of where the dam broke, and you will probably more likely find there is still people there. I fear everything else is probably washed out by now.
He nods and sort of thinks through what you've said. And as the party gathers and prepares to head out, you see an alloy of despondency with just a touch of hope mingled among the eyes of the people. They have seen the way that you've respected and treated the dead. They've now had a day and a half of warmth and fires and food. Many still mourn lost loved ones. But they at least have some semblance of security, and there is hope among them. Even you've heard whispered on the lips, it is the heroes of Sandpoint that aid them, and rumors of you have traveled even this far. You sense the hope of an entire town of people now on your shoulders as you head out through the portcullis. on the following morn. So we'll skip to the following. You've had another night of rest. Everyone, you should have had sufficient time for healing spells.
I would have.
You're all, everybody's
out what I
fully
had.
healed. Everybody's fully rested. You have your mounts. You have Kib. Kib seemed extremely uncomfortable being stuck in that stable. He's almost ripping his way out of the fort as he gets out into the rain. On this morning, the chill in the air, you actually see bits of hail and pieces of ice now falling from the sky amidst the rain, pelting you, smacking with a metallic tin against Solomon's armor. And you head out across the river now has completely obscured the bridge. You're able to get across it, but even so, like your horse's feet are 4 or 5 inches into the water before they touch the wood of the bridge. It's swollen now many times its normal width. And as you do that, we will conclude there for the day. And one of those rare sessions with no combat. But that's the way it rolled today, and I liked how the players handled things. It was it's a tough situation when you're running this sort of game. You never know how they are going to react, what they're going to do, and I thought you guys role played all of that really well. I especially liked the respect for the dead, the services, what was done for the man, what was done for Poquito. That was a lot of fun. And Eamon, I thought you took an interest, special interest in the townspeople and did things to help them with their own self-sufficiency. I thought that was really, really clever. So we have 2 things to do. 1, we do have these dice to give away. So exclamation point dice, D-I-C-E, all one word, exclamation point dice. Type that in the chat to be entered into our giveaway for these gorgeous crimson and auburn.
Hey, you rolled an 8.
I did. I rolled an 8 with an 8. Like, that's awesome. Dice. So exclamation point dice. Hey, Grape 8.
And me
good
one
to see
roll
you.
with me D20 was a 20.
Yeah, that's right. All right, and let me just check here and make sure the Nightbot, it's picking them all up. So far I see Aquas Knight, Captain Myamorph, DCG. Hey, we talked about your Etsy shop twice today, John. Everybody remember, jump into the Dragon Crafting Guild dice tray. Their Etsy channel, these mini trays are $19.99 right now. That's like half price of where they normally are.
Get your
these
Christmas gifts
are
early.
gorgeous. You can get them with D20s. You can get them with the dragon's eyes in the middle. They are awesome, awesome stuff. So check out the Etsy channel for Dragon Crafting Guild, and we'll probably be giving away one of those trays during our Greyhawk Awakening stream as well. Let's see who else has jumped in. Lord Forth, Pat66, Short Mom, Tim. All of you are in. And as we're getting ready for that, let's go to our stream MVP. Remember, here at Blue Box, we give a stream MVP. Depending on the campaign level, the value changes. For this group, it's 1,000 experience points. So it's important to them, whoever is voted stream MVP. And we're going to go around the room and give them each a chance to tell us why you should be stream MVP. Let's start in the middle this time. Tell us why you should be stream MVP, Eamon.
Well, I distributed the weapons to the able-bodied village people. I stayed in character with the mayor because as a player, I don't trust him, but I had to stay with, that I'd rolled that I wasn't sure. I just didn't know.
Sure.
So I had to stay in character.
That was an interesting way to resolve that, because that was tough. I could tell how you as a player versus you as a PC, you definitely didn't trust him, but you didn't have any sense of certainty, and I think you took the sort of more cautious route, which was well played. All right, good. Solomon, why should you be stream MVP?
I brought the dead guy in, and we got a lot of information from him about why everything is happening and kind of how to stop that. We could have just left him outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Let's see. I sat up with the man all night, watching over him, and did the burial rites for both him and Porquito. And
I like how we're all just saying poquito huevos with a straight face now. Like it's not even impacting us anymore.
And Irda also led the kind of decision-making process of what to do next, which is very in character for her. She's kind of made herself the de facto leader of the group, so she helped kind of organize and made sure that everyone was okay within the fort, talked to the mayor to make sure that everybody had everything they needed, so RP, lots of RP.
Lots of RP. That's good. All right, excellent. And by the way, yes, so the poll will go up in a second for our stream MVP. You still have time to type !dice, D-I-C-E, to be in the entry, lowercase all. Why should Cade be stream MVP?
Huzzah! I think you know why I should be stream MVP. Because I'm Cade. But I think I did a good job of remembering my friend Poquito Huevos and giving him a good pirate burial and giving him a casket of rum and throwing piratey things in the casket. Basically, this whole stream was about burying Poquito Huevos, so I should give the stream MVP.
Yeah, Pat said the same thing. Go ahead and flip that camera off one more time. It's good to do it one last time before the end of the stream.
Poll is started. It is up in the top
All right, the
rectangle.
poll is up. You can vote. And I'll fix my camera here in just a second. And
Dead pirates don't need good
then the shotgun hits it this week. All right, exclamation point dice. You can vote on the stream MVP. It was a cheap burial. I thought the same thing. The cheapest rum. Crinsolin. Let me find the smallest vote I have in my bag. All right, that's the winning comment of the day. That's fantastic. Well played. So it's close. Eamon, Cade. Now Irda.
Our vote for Cade is a vote for
Cade.
A vote for Cade is a vote for Cade.
All right, and exclamation point dice. Let's go ahead and do our dice giveaway now. And I am going to roll it here. I'll give you 5 more seconds to enter exclamation point dice if you're not in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll 4 times. We're going to give this to each of our players.
Yep.
And the first one up is Grape Ape.
I got you, Grape
That
Ape.
goes to Grape Ape. And Grape Ape is Grape Ape a sub?
follower, I
No,
think.
not a sub, right?
Just a follower.
Just a follower, right? So that's 1d20.
Vote for Cade.
All right.
Run for votes, run for
subs
votes.
get 2d20s. Followers get 1d20.
So you better sub.
Okay.
All right.
I'm using my best
Krenzelin.
one. Krenzelin is
that me?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you.
got Krenzelin.
Krenzelin is you. You've got that, and
yes.
that is a sub.
He's got a little
Yes.
flask next to his
Yep,
name.
she's a sub. I believe that's a she. If I'm getting all my usernames
I
mixed
don't
up here.
know.
All right, and then
Sorry.
I will be heard. All right, I will be heard. You are up. You are Amon's, and that is a sub. I will be heard is definitely a sub. And then, and they're all here. And then last but not least, it is Dragon Crafting Guild!
Oh my God! Huzzah!
All right, John. Now, John is not a sub. He's a follower, so that's 1 die for
Oh,
you,
why aren't you
Cade.
a sub?
He can use some dice for all of his dice trays.
I was gonna say you can test all of his
The
trays.
vote is
Make sure they're
close. We
rolling
got
good,
8
right?
for Eamon. We got 6 for Cade. There's still time to vote.
Yep,
but
few more
time is
seconds.
running out. All
Vote
right.
for Cade.
All right, now let's go around. Let's have you roll first,
Okay,
please.
Grape Ape is who I got right now.
Grape Ape has on the die a
6. I'm
A
sorry.
6. Hey, you never know. That could be enough.
I don't
All right,
think
so
so.
Grape Ape, you're rolling with a 6 from Irda. Now we go to Solomon, and you're rolling for Krenzelin, right?
Yes.
Not
Nat
20.
20.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
You keep doing that. That's a
definitely
nat
not 20.
20 on the die. All right, so Krenzelin is looking strong. You have.
I will be heard.
I will be heard.
No.
Also a sub, so you're rolling 2.
2.
Because it didn't have to combat today.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I will be heard. That's a 1 and an 8.
Yeah, you will not be
All right.
heard.
I'm
All right,
using
and-
the new Jade die.
All right,
from Dragon
the
Cat.
J die. Did you already use up the D20 for
I
the
don't
day?
know. We'll see. 20!
Oh my gosh! This
We are
Jade die is unbelievable.
And Eamon, you won MVP.
Eamon is
Thank you.
Stream MVP. Congratulations, Eamon. Well done. All right, so now we have a roll-off, and this still will be done with the advantage to the sub. All right, so you're going to roll 2 dice for Krenzlin, and you're going to roll 1 die for John at DCG on
he
this
on?
roll-off. Yeah, he's on. He just commented.
Oh. Well.
Go ahead. You got the 2 dice. You go first.
18 and a 13.
Oh, we have an 18. So you got
Gotta beat an 18.
a hot roll to beat that.
15.
A 15. So close. Congratulations, Krenzlin.
Yeah, that's a good die.
Yeah, well, because we didn't have any combat today, Lord Forth. That's why the
I
party,
die or crying to kill somebody.
the party stayed holed up in Fort Rannick today. Which, by the way, you guys can rename that fort if you want to. It's your fort now. You can call it whatever you want.
Who was it?
All right, so Krenzlin, I think. Do I already have your info? I think I do. But if I don't, hit me up on Discord. And Pop, I need your name and your mailing address. If I don't have it,
I tried.
I think I do, but if I don't, just send it to me. And we'll get you these gorgeous dice out. And everybody hang with us. We're going to see if we've got somebody to raid. All right, thank you, Krenzlin. Hey, don't miss Tuesday night.
Yes.
Greyhawk Awakening. It's going to be a huge session.
I'm so stressed.
You want combat? Combat is coming on that one for sure. And we have Not Great RPG. Let's give our friends over there a raid. And thank you so much. Hey, Canadian Ancient Gamer. Congrats to our winners today. Thank you very much, Aquanitis, for all the comments. You were great today.
I'm actually
really
gonna
appreciate
share our
that.
Discord because we didn't share
Oh, our
that
Discord,
today.
yes. Hey, before you leave, you want to be on the Blue Box Discord. All the stuff continues during the week. The campaigns, we have different channels for them. We do early announcements, especially our Greyhawk Awakening channel. That is the most active part of our Discord.
Yes.
You get to sort of enjoy the campaign throughout the week. I consider the Discord the connective tissue of our Blue Box experience, because it's not just 3 or 4 hours, 1 day a week. It can continue in that Discord. So please join us in that.
Yes.
And we are kicking off our raid for Not Great Ape RPG. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night, 5 o'clock Central. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, if you're watching today and you didn't give us a follow, or if you're a follower and you're not a sub, which means you got 1 D20 on these rolls today instead of 2, we have one question for you. What are you doing? Give us a follow, give us a sub, and we're going to raid in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Still time to follow. 4. Still time to sub. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, guys.
0.5, 0.25 rating now. Thanks, everybody.
Yay. Okay, and we rated with 19.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. We were a little low overall today.